Yo,
Yo.
can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Pretty cool. I got a new interface.
Okay.
So just all right. We hadn't recorded in so long where I was just like, all right, I still don't know how to hook all this up. Just kidding.
Was it hard to find everything?
It was like I was like, dang, where's the charger for the laptop? I was like, dang, like you use it just for like when I have to email stuff.
Right.
Just like do this, and I was like, dang, where's the charger for the laptop? But I got it. But I also had to get some new headphones too. So,
Okay. Nice.
so
Give yourself a little more volume.
yes, like volume for my. Is that better for my mic? Right.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Nice, dude.
A little more. I feel like Eminem in the way I am. Can I get a little more sound on my earphones?
Like I love like with because like the rappers don't know like the technical term. They
Yeah.
just they just say, "Hey, yo, turn me up in the phones, turn me up in the and it's like that's all they say. Just turn me up." And the engineer knows he'll be like, "All right, I got you," but it's like, "You turn me up in the
Right.
headphones."
I wonder how many times they pretend to put like to raise it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I got it now."
Dude, or like putting like reverb on stuff where it's like, yo man, can I get a little more just like I don't know, can you make it sound a little more like the sauce, the vibes, boom, boom, and then
Right.
put a little verb and it's like, oh bro, it's perfect. And it's like, bro, I just put like a regular reverb on it.
I
Like
did
just
nothing.
yeah. It's missing something. It's missing like the oomph, the X factor. And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like delay, reverb, and it's like, oh yeah, that's it. That's dude, I heard a
What's
story where someone was like in the studio and it was like a Christian recording artist, and they were trying to like, all right, we gotta like we gotta get in the zone, we gotta get in like in the spirit, you know, like
Yeah.
we have to wait to start until like, because you know how people talk the whole like, oh like
Right.
the
Right.
anointing and all this,
Of course. Of course.
and so they're like let's let's just wait it out and pray a little bit, and then finally they were like, I think we're ready. Like I think like it just something just happened, and they're like, what happened? And the engineer was like,
So-
I put reverb on the singer's vocals. Like that was just
Bro,
like
that's
you
wild.
know what I mean? So like they're singing and like and it sounds just like majestic now. And it's like, oh bro, it's like like he's here. We're ready to start. And it's like, bro,
Yeah,
shut up. Like but yeah.
that's funny. It's funny how so many people think that that's a thing, huh?
Right.
Yeah. I remember there was a at Starbucks we would sometimes if somebody complained about their drink, we would just kind of take it and you just hold the drink for a little bit and then you just give it back. And they're like, "Oh yeah, this is it." And you're
Dude,
like,
yeah, like that's it. Yeah.
"We
Like
did
or
nothing."
like go in the back, put it like in a different cup or something. Like just pour
Yeah.
the drink in.
Yeah.
All right, bro, I made this one specifically. They're like,
Yeah, you just take a little while.
that's more like it. You're like, okay.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, I can taste it now." You're like, "Oh, okay, sure." Sure.
Dude,
Of
I think that
course you
was
can.
a there was a bit on King of Queens with Frank Stiller where
Hmm.
he was telling Doug, or he's telling the character on the show, he's like, when you go to the grocery store, like you gotta tell him for like the specific produce like in the back. Like whatever's out there is not what you want. You gotta go.
Yeah.
That's what the good stuff is.
Right.
And so he's there and he's like he tells like one of the stock boys, he's like, hey man, like I'm not digging these potatoes, like these are the small ones. Like I need like the big ones. I need you to go in the back and bring me like the one like and he's like and the stock boy's like, dude, what are you talking about? And he's like, you know what I'm talking about, like wink wink, the ones in the back. And so the
Yeah.
stock boy just goes in the past that door with like the those like things that hang, you know what I mean? Like the
Right.
and he goes back there and he just waits like 10 seconds holding the same potato and he comes back out and he's like, here you go, sir. And Frank still he's like, yeah, that's more like it. It's like it's all a lie. But then they had another bit at the end of that episode where like I think because Donnie Osmond appeared in that episode
Hmm.
and he's at the store and he meets that same like stock boy and he's like, hey man, I'm here for the good stuff. Like I need you to go in the back. And the stock
Yeah.
boy like totally changes personalities and he's like, oh yes, sir, like I got you. I'll be right back. and he actually went in the back and he's like, "Yeah, I got the real." Like he actually brought him like other
Like the
perks and
good
he's like,
stuff.
"Yeah," and he's like, "That's what I'm talking about." It's like, "Dang, bro, Frank was right," but they
Yeah.
didn't give him the good stuff, but he was right. They have the good stuff. And it's like, but imagine like whenever I go and get like shoes, I'm like, "Hey man, you got this in my size?" And they go and they're like, "Nah, bro." And I'm like, "Man, I bet if someone else walked in with like a little more like just." Or they'd be like, "Oh yeah, bro, we got that size 12 for you." Of course, like yeah,
Yeah.
we called another one of our stores and we had it flown in. Like they have the good stuff in the
Yeah.
bag. But for me, it's like, nah, bro, you gotta pick a
Nah,
different
man.
shoe.
Yeah.
You're not that guy. And I'm like, if only someday, right? And just order it online.
So that we can dream. So vale soñar. Y si sí, ah.
ECC stop. Dang.
Oh man. So was this your first World Cup?
No, no, this wasn't. It's crazy. I was thinking about this. The first one I remember watching, uh, where I actually paid more attention was
Yeah.
2010. It's funny. I remember in 2006.
Okay.
I remember of you actually. We were at church and we were in the tent, right? The all white tent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we played, and by we I mean Mexico. Sorry,
Hmm.
like sorry, not sorry. I mean Mexico. But I think
Yeah.
we played like Iraq or Iran,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we won. And I remember you came into the tent and you were just like triumphant, and you were like "Si se pudo." You were just like your little hand was up. You were
Yeah.
like "Si
Yeah.
se
Yeah.
pudo,"
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh dang!" I was like, "What is Germ talking about?" And people were just like, "Oh, like the World Cup, soccer, blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, that's the one where like Zidane headbutted the dude, right?"
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I
Yeah.
didn't watch
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
games, but I just heard like the mumble, the word on the street, if you will, of the games.
Yeah.
And I think the final was on a Sunday too, and they were like, "Oh, bro, this guy headbutted somebody, blah blah." And I think I caught the replay, and I was like, "Huh, the World Cup of soccer." And then 2010 comes around. At this point, I'm a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
That one I paid a little more attention, but the only memory I have of that one is watching the Spain win in the end. Like I remember the like when they lifted up the trophy,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
ceremony. So it progressed, and in 2014, that was one where I was like, "All right, dude." My dad kind of told me some of the players. I had seen Chicharito play in like one of the youth teams for Mexico at Fullerton
Okay.
College, and my
Yeah.
dad, oh, like he's gonna be like the next guy for Mexico, like all the buzz and everything. Um, and that was when Mexico versus Brazil, and like the memo like legend kind of like it kind of blossomed in that game because he was just stopping everything. And I think we tied against Brazil in the group
Yeah.
stage. So and the no era penal, like that was huge. Oh, I also remember 2010 Mexico got eliminated by Argentina.
Hmm.
I remember that day I was at church.
Heartbreaker. Yeah.
I know, and my dad was telling me he's like we have a chance. He's like because Rafa Marquez he plays in Europe, so and he knows like he's familiar with the guys on the Argentina team because they play overseas together or against each other.
Yeah. That day was we had a basketball tournament at Clara Park, and a basketball tournament. My team finished second actually. Um, and Mexico was playing during the basketball tournament,
Yeah,
and I remember they scored, and you just heard yelling all around the neighborhood.
like the neighborhood. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, all of us that were at church just well, no, we weren't at church, we were at the park, but
right.
yeah, and then they lose in like heartbreak fashion.
Yeah,
I
I
remember getting
remember.
home, watching the end,
Yeah,
and just like, yeah,
I remember the goal specifically. I remember it was the first time where I was like, because I even noticed it in this tournament, but it feels like other nations, specifically like most of the European countries and
yeah,
Argentina, because this is the team I'm going to use as an example, but
right.
where I don't see a lot of
They
Mexican
consider
players.
themselves European.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And but they I've seen a lot of players attempt and make goals from outside of the box, like the actual. And some
Yes,
guys
yes,
do it
yes.
where I'm just like, dang, bro, like not to say they made it look easy, but they made it look
Right.
like even like Enzo Fernandez, like when they were playing England, like
Hmm.
Messi gave the assist, and I was like, dang, dude,
Right.
this dude really he saw that he made that and he saw that. But I
Yeah.
remember seeing Carlos Tevez make the goal against Mexico from like way outside the box, and I was like,
2014.
yeah, and I was like, I
No, that
I
was
was that that's
2006.
2010, no, 2010.
6.
I was at church
No,
and I was
10.
like
You're right.
2010, yeah,
2010.
because I remember I was like,
2010.
I
Yeah.
remember I was even like kind of like,
Yeah.
because I think his nickname is El Apache. They call him El Apache, I think.
Yeah, it was 2010.
And I was like, why do they call him El Apache? Well, like amongst the Argentinian guys, he kind of looks a little more like
Right.
spicy. And I was like, oh, that's the standard for Argentina. Like if
And
you look
then he had
like
like a big old like
he had the
scar on his
scar and
neck.
everything, and he had like the
Yeah.
long hair. But he
Yeah.
made that goal, and I was like, bro, I don't see any Mexican dudes ever even attempting goals like that, you know. And then
Yeah.
in this tournament too, like obviously like the French guys, right? And then even the goal that I don't even know his name, but the Cabo Verde player that made it against Argentina, where it was, you know, and I was just like, dang, I was like, I feel like Mexico always just attempts to kind of make it safely from like within.
Well,
Is
it's
that
it's
like a style of play thing? Like what, like where does that come from?
what speaks well, it's a talent thing because
Mm,
it's a talent confidence thing. And so the players you're mentioning, except for the Cabo Verde guy, and I think that's more um not so much skill because it's not like that. He was like he's a World Cup like a world class player.
right,
That's more like the region he plays in because he
right.
just plays closer to that part of the world. Um, but that is more so a talent makes you just think you could do it. And
Mm,
so where if you see Mexico, if you see Canada, the USA, and even like different teams, like European teams that are lower, like Switzerland, and teams like
right.
that, um, because the talent level is not there, their creativity is not there either. So they're not
Right.
trying all these different things because they're
Right.
not creative enough. So it's almost like in football, it's kind of like if you have kind of like when the Chiefs do the crazy like formations or they do like they go
Right.
like ring around the rosy type of thing, and you're just like, who
Yeah.
do these guys think they are? What's like, well, they have Patrick Mahomes, so they can kind of
They got some wiggle room. They have a little more
yeah,
leeway
they
as
can
far as
kind of
like,
get creative and kind
yeah,
of just play with stuff
yeah,
that if you didn't have Patrick Mahomes, you just like, hey man, just line up, snap the ball, don't do anything crazy. And so
right.
that's kind of what it is. It's the two flea flickers in one game that the Patriots did versus the Ravens.
Yeah.
You know, if Brady's not your quarterback and Edelman is not there, and like because you have these guys that
Right.
are
Right.
smart enough, that are talented enough, you just are given a area of creativity that somebody else
A
it
bigger
doesn't have.
canvas. Yeah. You got a few more tools.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and so I think, and you saw like, and I think part of what made Mora so special was that you saw he was so good that he had the creativity to make passes that Mexican players
Yeah.
don't make. So it's
Yeah.
why you saw some of the like people that called games pointing out like, dude, this guy's seeing things before they're happening. This guy,
Right.
and that's why it became. I think that's why his hype became what it was because he. I think it was for the first time since man, maybe Hugo. No, honestly, maybe the first time since Neri Castillo
Wow.
that we had a guy who just had the guts to just try it. Like Neri
Yeah.
Castillo against Brazil will live forever because the audacity that that guy had to do that versus Brazil,
Yeah.
like in South America, like just like you add everything, Copa America there, against Brazil, and this dude is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna try stuff, man, and we'll see.
Yeah.
So, and that's where you see that at the highest level, there's great skill, but there's because they're so talented, they're just able to, let me just try it from here.
Right.
And so that's the part that I think, I mean, you played organized sports, so I'm sure you've seen a version of this. Like when you play sports, if you're not talented enough, there is a cap in what you're doing. You're gonna play
Right.
very
Right.
differently. But if
Yeah.
you're playing sports and you're talented and you're athletic enough, you might try something that somebody else won't try.
Right.
And if it fails, it fails. But if it goes in or if it succeeds, then you're just like, all right, cool, I can do that too.
Yeah.
Then. And so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. I
that's part of
remember
it.
an example was like when guys play defensive line, whether it's tackle or defensive end. I
Yeah.
remember like when we would practice, um, obviously like you see the pros on TV, you see all the guys that try different moves, right? A bull rush, a slam, a rip, all that kind of stuff. And one that I remember like Leo Zambrano talking about was the spin move. Remember like Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis with the Colts
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
those nasty spin moves.
Right.
And so I remember like as a kid, I was like, yo man, like I'm gonna try. And then like other guys would want to try, right? And the coach would always be like, dude, like do not do that. Like stick to your assignment, get containment, or just like fill the gap
Right.
that you have to fill.
Right. Yeah.
Unless they're passing. And even then, please do not try a spin move because if you're not fast enough to pull off a spin move, say you're like a bigger guy like me.
Right. You just blew
If
up our entire defense.
Yeah,
So
and if you
much.
get
Yeah.
caught trying to spin and the tackle's smart,
Yeah.
you just open it, you expose your back to him.
Right.
And you're
Right.
gonna go face first in the ground with him on top of you. Like that's so
Yeah.
and so it's like that's how you know, and so it's like unless you're a guy that like you know your body and what you're capable of to try to
course.
even try that, it's like
Yeah.
don't do it, bro. You're not built for that, And it's just
Right. Right.
right. And so it's like but that's why you see some of these like the shifty guys that do it, and you'll see like big guys like, oh yeah, let me get a spin move. It's like, nah, bro, like you're not like you're 350 playing D tackle. Like I don't need you to be that fast. I need you to fill that A gap and stop the run. Like I don't need you
Right. Right.
you're not even gonna get 5 sacks a season. You're like, but if you can give me a couple like stops on the goal line, but everyone wants to be like that guy trying out fancy moves, or even like I remember like was it DeMarcus Ware on Joe Staley, but he hit him like with the reverse spin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, who tries that? Who tries a reverse
Right.
spin? You fake the spin, then go back outside. And Staley
Yeah.
thought he bit on it. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
But if a high school player does that, it's like, bro, you're gonna get blown up. Like, stop. They get
Yeah.
the first down on you. But it's like, yeah, and they tell you like just stick to your assignment, play sound, disciplined, defensive football. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It takes a special guy to be like, you know what, let me try it. It might work. Make it
Yeah.
exact.
There's this video of Cristiano Ronaldo Champions League beginning of the game. And he like gets the ball. Manchester United is down in the aggregate score, I think like 2-1 or something like that. And he like crosses like the halfway point and he just launches it and he makes it. And you're just like, what? Like what? The game just started. And there's another one where he's like super far away. It's against Arsenal. And even the announcer's like, this is too far for him to try. And that's
Right.
like in the edits and like Instagram, TikTok edits, that's what you see. Like, this is too far for him to try. And then like the song hits and like he kicks it in.
Yeah, the kind of like the ding, ding
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So it's like you see it a lot where the better teams, they have just the players, not even it's because it's not the team. It's just the players have a different creativity to them because of that skill.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think, and it's why people like me are begging the Mexican Federation to just send these dudes over.
Yeah.
Just send them over. Because just so they can get talent. Send them there. And you're gonna get a lot of Linuses who are gonna go, who are gonna fail, and who are just gonna take the paycheck, and that's what's gonna happen, and it happens in every country. But then you're gonna hit like on Marquez, and you're gonna get some Rafa Marquez, and so I just think if we were to just send everyone, send Mora, send right now Lara is in talks to go over there, like just send everyone.
Yeah.
I think we would hit on even look, even if you were to send 20, which isn't unrealistic, if you were to send 20 and like seven hit, like seven just become like
That's some depth. You know, you're like, dang, we
all of a
can.
sudden like seven, that's more than half of a starting lineup. You can
Yeah.
win a World Cup with seven world class dudes.
Yeah.
So I think, but I think it comes down to um, the Mexican Federation doesn't care about Mexican soccer, and
Yeah.
that's the reality of it. That's the reality, kids. The Mexican Federation does not care about Mexican soccer.
Yeah. I know. When you were telling Jared, when you were like, 'cause I think he asked, and he's like, "Yo, will we ever?" And you're like, "We're never." Like, no, it's just not. And I was like,
Because it would take someone, it would take the Mexican Federation to stop caring about money. But well, I need to rephrase it because they all care about money. It will take the Mexican Federation to care more about the sport than it does about making money. And and I think what upsets me is that like is is that they don't they're so greedy that they don't see that the money's there. Like people are supporting, people are gonna buy
that's
your
what. Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I'm saying. It's like
Like
it's
so, it's not like you have to choose one or the other. But it just until that happens, until somebody gets up there and does redoes it.
delicious. Yeah.
I just think it's gonna be really hard. I think it, and it's why like Chicharito saying something means a lot because if he says something like his voice, he's
Yeah,
up there
his
with
words
Rafa Marquez.
they carry some weight. You're like, yo, this guy's
Yeah,
yeah.
and so I just think it and this is why like the Rafa Marquez signing was somewhat encouraging, just because I would hope because of who he is, they would just leave him alone, and he's not going to run into the problems of you need to take, where the America owners calling you, hey, you need to take what one, three of my guys, and
Yeah.
the Chivas guys telling you got to take some of his guys, and the Cruz Azul guys calling you, telling you you have to take some of these guys.
Yeah.
And so maybe they leave him alone, but then you get the big problem of the federation of the league, La Liga MX, well, where someone like Mora, like right now, Lara, for example, he's being teams are looking at him, and the English game did so much for a lot of those Mexican players, especially because
Right.
the English players came out and were just kind of like, whoa, these guys have quality, these guys are good.
Right. Right.
But like, you get some of these guys who play on Mexican, like Lara plays for Cruz Azul, and so Cruz Azul should make it easy for him to leave. They should sell him for less than $10 million. They should just sell him. But what's happening is they're putting him in the market, and what's probably good, and you're probably gonna get like an America or a Pumas who are gonna offer $20 million, and a European team's gonna say, "Well, I'm not gonna pay $20 million for him.
Right.
He's unproven." And it's just, one end is like cool that there's so much money in Mexican soccer, and the other end, That's what's killing it. That's what's killing Mexican
Yeah.
soccer. And so, and the U.S. has a different problem. The U.S. has a problem that it's made soccer an expensive sport.
Do you? Oh, that was one, dude.
And so that's like, and so it's
The youth
interesting.
soccer. Yeah.
It's interesting the problems that we have here on our end because for Mexico, it's that at the top they're so greedy that they just care about money. So they don't care about development. They don't care about helping out the players and sending them over to England for or Europe for development. Here, there's no development because everyone's gatekeep because you need to your parents need to make over 100
Over
grand
50.
for you to
Yeah.
play in a club that's worth it, in a club where
Right.
someone's going to see you. Like you can go to the park and play, you can sign up for the park league and play, but you're not going to be seen, you're not going to be developed. You need to pay a lot of money, you need to just be all over the place for someone to notice you. And the thing is, a lot of the kids that get noticed, a lot of kids that make it in the US are not the best kids, they're the richest kids. So that's why you'll
Right.
see Antonio Freeman's son, who's plays for the national team. He's good, but he's probably there because his dad is Antonio Freeman. Like you're not
Yeah.
seeing these stories in the US of this poor kid from LA who was
Right.
found.
And
You're
that's what
not
some guys
seeing
are saying. They're
this.
like, dude, like you have this untapped market there. How are you guys not even
Yes.
like
Yes.
let you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no rags to riches story in US soccer because it's too expensive. And
Yeah.
I don't think the US cares, the US Federation cares to fix it because well everyone's getting a piece of the pie on the way up. So
Yeah.
and that's it's a big problem.
That
So I
that
think
clip of Landon Donovan talking about it where he was like, I wouldn't make it in today's climate with like what's going on with
right.
youth soccer. He's like, I think he said the number was like in today's youth soccer, like less than 2% of the kids, the parents make 50K at least a year. And
Right. Yeah.
he's like 2%. The rest, like you said, 100K, like, wealthy.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, my mom made 34 grand, single mom. He's like, and I lucked out because someone sponsored me. But if someone's not there to
Right.
sponsor me, he's like, I go under the radar. Like I slip through the cracks and I don't make it. And it's like,
Right.
you know, but yeah, it's crazy, man. And it's crazy because you mentioned like Sunday leagues, but like I have a neighbor and he did like he loves soccer and he did the whole like youth
Mhm.
soccer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, like he's like, it's rough out here. Like they don't, he's like, and he said they don't care about developing the players.
No.
They just want to like win amongst themselves over here, like in the club soccer teams.
Yes.
And they don't care. And because I even mentioned to him, because he plays now for like intramural club team in San Jose, like for San Jose State. Like he plays on the,
Mhm.
not the main team,
Yeah.
but like just like the fun one, right?
Right. Right.
And he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I do this just for fun because I still love soccer, but he's like, it would. And I told him, I was like, you wouldn't want to do like the official team. He's like, it's not worth it. There's nothing in it, because I was like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you go like to go? Because he even told me, he's like, there are guys at the Sunday leagues I go to that are better than the college guys on the college teams. Like it's crazy how they don't care about the very different priorities. And he's like, I know guys in the
Yeah.
Sunday
Yeah.
league that like some like every now and then there's like a guy in the Sunday league that like if they might get like a tryout like on an MLS team. He's like, but the college teams they don't even have that on their mind. It gets weird how like
Yeah.
and at that
Yeah.
point it's
Because
too
it's a
late. You're too old too because soccer's such a like you have to be like
yeah.
shipped off at like 12 now to go and do the thing pretty
Right.
much.
And
Yeah,
it's a different. It's very different because you get into in here in the U.S. the coach holds so much power. So you
yeah,
get this coach that is approaching the parents with money and teaching them enough where he wins and he just moves on to a bigger club makes more money, and he's just and the goal is just to get to where the richest kids are to make the most money as a coach. And so the college system in basketball and football is the feeding grounds to the leagues. But soccer
Right.
doesn't work that way because
Yeah.
soccer isn't like tied to school like that.
Yeah.
And so it's why like we would never see a 17-year-old playing in the Super Bowl. That's just not like it's not a thing. We wouldn't see a 17-year-old playing in the finals. Like it
NBA
just
finals.
doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
But in soccer, because it's such a difference, it's a different world. Everything is so open that these teams invest. Like if you go to South America, if you go to Europe, you'll see that these clubs are invested in their cities, and every city is like has an academy
Right.
for the club, and it's super affordable, if not free. Where you go, you play,
Right.
and right there you're getting people from the club seeing you, and from right there you are getting picked up. So it's why you'll see there's players like there's players that play throughout Europe that they'll say, yeah, this is my boyhood club. David Beckham grew up his entire life in Manchester United, and so that because he grew up there, Manchester United was the biggest club. They took him in, and all of a sudden they develop him. They take an interest in,
Right.
and and it's not tied to college or any of that, because once you go to college, they have their own priorities, and we see it now with the NIL. Where you're seeing,
Right.
these not even kids, these like men that are 24, 25 playing college still, and you're just like,
Dude, I'm gonna use my sixth year of eligibility, and it's like, bro, like, yeah,
yeah,
like, move on, like, come on.
right, right. You're married, have two kids, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's time, man. I think it's time. Yeah. So it just, yeah, it's different. It's a
I read
whole different
Mbappe
one.
started at 6. Like, I was just on his Wikipedia, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I went to an academy at 6 years old, and it's like, what? Like,
yeah.
oh,
See, but a lot of it is these academies are funded by the team itself. The
yeah.
success of that team, and a lot of them, like if you take Borussia Dortmund for example, that's a smaller team in Germany, but their entire thing is they are master developers. They develop players at the highest level. And so some of the most amazing players have come through there. Haaland, Bellingham, to name two, just came through that system. And these two, so it's just they are the feeding ground to everything. And so they make their
Right.
money by developing players, selling players, and all that funnels down and funds everything else. And that's the
The next
system.
generation here, like, that's, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's
It's crazy. I don't
yeah.
know who the guy was, but he was a black dude, but he was like throwing major shade at Alexi Lawless. Am I saying that name right? Yeah, that
Mhm.
guy. And I think he was on a talk show, and he was like, "Can we get Alexi Lawless to shut up? Like, that guy, his takes are terrible. Like, just straight up, he's like, that guy sucks. His takes are terrible. Doesn't know what he's talking about." Because I guess Alexi's one of the guys that's like, "Nah, bro. Like, U.S. American youth soccer is fine. Like, how are we gonna?" And it's like,
Yeah.
"Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like."
Yeah. Yeah.
And this guy was saying, he's like, for example, my kid plays on the club team, and amongst those kids, he's like, my kid thinks he's like hot stuff. Like, like he's balling out
Mhm.
with amongst his peers.
Right.
And he even said, he's like, dude, you're like, and he's like, and I took him to a hood, like I took him to a park, like just where I knew there were like some like rougher kids,
Yeah.
and just completely got like his butt kicked. And he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, you don't even see it. Like, these guys, their parents can't afford to send them to a club, but
Right.
they're ballers. And
Yeah.
it's like, and he's like, yeah. So he's like, and he's like, we need to make it more affordable, because like, and he was one of the guys that was like, dude, like LA isn't such an. He's like, how are you not getting all these like Hispanic players to come and play for
Yeah.
these club teams? You know,
Well, Alexi Lalas is a prime
oh
example of he probably comes from money,
Yeah.
and he got to where he got because of money. And he was a
Yeah.
fine player, like no shade at at him,
Right.
but
But the money is like how like it's like he was afforded those
yeah,
opportunities.
especially
But
at
it's
the
like
time he
yeah,
was coming up, where U.S.
right.
soccer was nothing.
Yeah, it was oh yeah.
So just it's not that. I think it'd be interesting if Mexican soccer were to be ran like Mexican boxing,
Mm.
because I think that's
Isn't
almost
that crazy? Because it's like Mexican boxing is such an open. It's like yeah, dude, just come train. Like just come and
but that's almost what needs to happen. Like
yeah,
where it kind of just becomes like, hey man, like anybody and everybody, let's go, let's do it, and you just kind
yeah,
of from because I think that's what like is so frustrating as a Mexican and as a Mexican supporter. Like the country cares so much about soccer. It
yeah,
cares so
yeah.
much about it, and we just like we suck. Like in comparison to like how much we care for it, we're not that good.
Right.
It's just like, what are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Remember that coworker I told you I had, the one that was in favor of Ten Hag with Menu,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
he was when he and I would get together and talk about soccer, he would always kind of like throw shade at Mexico, and he's like, I don't get why you guys are so like you guys are almost kind of like arrogant, but you don't even have like the winning to back it up. And I'm like, you don't get it. It's like it's the passion. Like we're very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Right.
I know we don't win, but it's just like the reason why we have a name, any kind of name in soccer, is because of our passion for the game. Like it's not,
Right.
and it's just like he's like that's the main reason why. You know how many like the Mexico jersey was like the best selling one. It's like dude, like people want to just. There's a lot of like actual, I'm gonna say like wholesome pride
Yes.
when it comes to playing soccer, even though we're not that good. But it's like, but that's why we have some kind of skin in the game at all.
Right. Right.
Like it's not that. It's like we. I know we don't win. We know we don't win. And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Have you seen that? I haven't finished it yet, but there's the 1986 World Cup movie with like Diego Luna.
Yeah. That one was good. I liked it.
I haven't finished it yet, but
It was
I started
good.
watching that and I was like, because obviously I don't know all the history. My dad like he kind of knew some, and so we started watching together. But I
Yeah.
was like, but there's that scene where they go and talk to Hugo, and they're like, "Hey, man,
Hmm.
you're you're not going to be the captain because well,
Yeah.
this coach and that coach and blah blah blah." And Hugo's like, "Dude, I'm the guy. What are you talking about? Like, how are you not going to let me quarterback this?
Yeah.
Like, who is going to be the captain if I'm not the captain?"
Right.
You know. But it was weird, like how you're saying, like you were like, "Oh yeah, well, the America coach is gonna call, and then that guy's gonna call, and that
Yeah.
guy wants to take his players," and it's just like it's
What's
crazy how we can't put that tribalism aside for the sake of like the larger tribe. It's like why can't we just take the best players? Like it's so weird. It's so like
what? It's because yeah, the way the system is set up. The way the
yeah,
system is set up, it's set up to it's it's not even to favor the rich. It's just it's set up in a way where everyone you're fighting for the most money when everybody's making money. It just doesn't make sense. And then you get the 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 wildest thing in Mexican soccer is that you can get the same guy to own multiple teams. And it just becomes ridiculous. So it's why like Mexican soccer at the league level is such a mess, and it just doesn't make sense, and it affects the national team because imagine if Robert Kraft owned the Patriots and the Seahawks,
right.
and he would just build the Patriots and he would use the Seahawks to funnel the Patriots.
Like for spare parts. It's like, oh yeah, the Seahawks.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna go. We're
Oh,
gonna
you got a hot receiver? He's coming to the Pats now. Yeah, like
right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. JSN. All right, we'll trade him to the Pats for second round pick
right, right.
and like in the seventh rounder. And you'd be like, what? You could do that? And like, well, yeah. I mean, it's a trade. So that's what you get in Mexican soccer, and it just makes like no sense. And then you get the owner of you know of a team who also owns the television. And
Yeah,
so it would just so you get like this like ridiculous like monopoly of stuff,
yeah,
and it just doesn't make any sense. And so yeah, the one thing that I had forgotten about that came out of that film showed was Mexico does good in '86, and '90 was viewed as the like, all right, this is '90, we're going in with our best. It's Ugo's last like he's still Ugo, and Mexico gets in trouble. They get disqualified. They don't make it to '90, and that was it. And Hugo Sanchez has talked about like how he wishes he would have been able to play in '90, and who knows what.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. All we know is pain. That's it.
Dude, I know that with this one, it's like I'm gonna go ahead and say it. With the World Cup, it's almost like we're all Niner fans. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like oh, dude, we get like,
Every 4 years.
bro. When you sent like that text during the England game, where you were like, "That's like the two goals, right?" In like 2 minutes, and you're like,
Yeah.
"This is it. That's game." And you said, "This is the Mexico I've grown up watching," and I was like, "Damn it, Germ!" I was like, "Shut up, stop, like please." Like,
Dude.
but it's like we can't sink into that kind of despair right now. I was like, after the game, sure, but it's like
Right.
right now, I was like, don't tell me that, dude. I was like,
See, but I woke up that morning and I was like, we're gonna lose today.
felt it. I know, yeah.
We're gonna lose
I
today.
felt it too, but you can't let
We
them.
had our fun versus Ecuador. We're
Yeah,
gonna lose today. And this World Cup was fun. In my eyes, it's still a failure. We didn't complete what we wanted to do because getting to the round 16, we've done that before. So quarterfinals. We want to get to quarterfinals. But we're gonna lose today, and hopefully we fight. Hopefully we fight. And I had texting. It's like, yeah, I think we're
yeah,
losing today. England's winning today. Um, and I think I think it's just I have never seen Mexico rise to the occasion like that
yeah,
ever. I've seen them play good games. I've seen them just go toe to toe because they went toe to toe with England.
yeah.
But I've never seen them just rise to the occasion and just get it done. So there's like there's nothing that I could like reach back and say, okay, well they did it here,
Yeah.
and that's how I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
And that's watching that game. That's what hurt. Watching the rest of the games throughout the tournament is what hurt the most because watching them compete against England. Because even my dad, he was like, "I'm glad they put up a fight, man. Like it could have, like,
Yeah,
my dad's like, I've seen it when it's way worse. Like I've seen it, you know."
yeah, yeah,
And so he's like, I'm just glad we put up a fight. And so when I'm watching, for example, like all the teams play against Argentina, I was like, dang, dude, like they're all competing with Argentina. Like it's not,
right.
these guys aren't head and shoulders above us. Watching Norway and England, it's like these are all close games. These have all been close games.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
but
like it's like
Look,
we're there, but
Mexico's right
we just
there.
never been on
Yeah,
the other end of like, and it's just like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
I
like you
think
said,
that's
like the
what's
yeah,
that's what's like so tough because, and that was what like I at least I appreciated because I've seen Mexico go down 2-0 and they just like
crumble.
and they didn't. They just kept at it and they just we were right there. There was just three
Yeah,
two the last 10 minutes of the game. Um and so from that standpoint I'm glad
yeah. And like you
they
said,
did
like a lot
that.
of the English guys were like, dude, like these guys. One thing that stuck is like these guys had a lot of heart playing against us,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Was this
Yeah,
World Cup the one that you consumed the most? You would say that you were the
I think
most locked
so.
in. Okay.
Yeah. You
Okay.
know what's crazy? I completely, for the life of me, cannot remember watching or even talking about until after the fact. The 2018 World Cup is like totally non-existent in my
Yeah.
mind. It's wild because like
Right.
like I said 2010, 2014. I remember being at my friend's house. I think I told you like his dad passed away recently,
Mm-hmm.
and his dad was French. Like his dad came over to the US from France at a really young age.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
so it's 2018 and the World Cup is over. It's already over.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind I was like, "Oh, I didn't even watch the World Cup like this time around." Like just and then it was like and I was like, "Oh, who won?" And I was like, "Oh, France won." And it's like, "Oh, dude, like your dad's going to be stoked. Like that's,
Yeah.
like his homeland." And so and then 2022 I watched a good amount of 22, mainly just cuz I mean, kind of like this one. I have to see Argentina lose, you
Yeah.
know. And so with that one, I was like, all right, we were watching the games and everything. I feel like that was more miserable because we didn't even make it out of the group stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so this one was fun. This one was, but yeah, 2018, like I have no recollection of anyone. And maybe it's also because like amongst like my musician friends, like none of them really watch. I'm the guy that talks about sports.
Right.
And so if no one brought it up to me, I wasn't gonna be like, oh yeah, the World Cup, because I was like, oh, the World Cup is happening. And
Yeah.
so now on TikTok and stuff, I'm seeing clips of Mbappe because I guess they like throttled Argentina when they played them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm seeing clips of this, and I'm just like, oh, this like what we hoped for last World Cup, and this one like this already happened. Like they've already.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I was like,
Croatia did it to them too.
yeah, and so I'm just like, what? I was like, this is weird. I was like, because it
Yeah.
was like watching because I watched a couple like France games like this time around too, and I'm just like, all right, and I'm just like, oh, I was like, Mbappe's already been that dude. Like, I'm late to the party, like watching him. Like, he's
Yeah.
already, and I was like, wow, dude, because he was 19, right? The first one. Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, dude, like
Yeah.
he's already, as the kids would say, like unk in this tournament, even though he's not. But like, just as far
Right.
as like
Right. Right.
soccer years go, it's like, oh, dude, he's been there.
Yeah.
He's already,
Yeah.
he's like what we just watched with like Lamine. It's like, oh, he was there as a young punk
Well,
already.
Lamine Mbappe is who Koto and all these Lamine guys think Lamine is.
Right. Right.
Like the level of glaze that Lamine gets, that's who Mbappe was at 19 in that World Cup.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because in
So yeah.
that in 2018, like he had a good tournament in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Lamine was just like he was. I'm not going to say it. Sorry, y'all, but he was I. He was I. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
I.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. No shade, but he was I. Like
Yeah. 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 So yeah, 2018 was, I think the most memorable was just Mexico beating Germany.
yeah,
And that was the
I do
like,
remember that. Like hearing about that, and it's like I was like, oh, we beat Germany. Wow, like
yeah, just I remember Father's Day, first game of the World Cup for Mexico, and we beat Germany, and it was just that's where the whole like kind of like the birth of the early ECC started. That's where
right.
that
Wasn't
started.
that the Imaginémonos? That was the one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But from there, that's kind of like what it
It
turned into.
snowballed. Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
the Mexico Germany win, like that would like we were all Paul Rudd. We were just like, dang, we're all here. Who would have thought? Like us beating Germany,
dude,
and it's like
that was so. I remember it was right before church. I was watching it at home, and I just was like, I cannot believe this. Like, and there was the call from the Mexico from one of the Mexican announcers was en el Día del Padre, México le dio en la madre a Alemania, and you're just like, oh, that's so awesome.
oh.
That's so awesome.
But it
Um,
goes back to what we said. It's like go right there with those clubs. It's like, dude, what's the holdup? Come on, like
yeah, man, yeah. And the
yeah,
coach, um, just to like go full circle, the coach of that team Colombian dude who discovered Mora.
No
That was that guy.
way.
That was that guy.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 2022 is Tata, right? The Argentinian dude.
Yeah, that was
Tata.
Tata.
Yeah.
That was Tata. And I think he was such a failure. His criticism of Mexican soccer was good, but it was almost like, okay, you're right, but you're not allowed to say it because
Yeah.
you didn't get the results.
Right. Right.
So it's one of those like people have tried to do like the reverse history thing, where like, oh man, Tata was right, but we weren't ready because Tata was he was the first one to say the Santi wasn't as good as we thought he was, and it was,
Mm.
and all that, and but to me, it's like okay, like fine, you can think that, but you didn't get out of the group stage. You're the first Mexican
Right. It's like
coach in
okay.
a
It's like
long time that didn't get out. So I kind of don't care what you have to say. Your assessment kind of doesn't mean anything because you didn't get out of the group stage.
yeah.
So shut up.
Yeah. It's easy to hate from outside the club. You didn't even get in. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
what are you
yeah. So
talking
to me,
about?
it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like I don't know what you want us to do. Like you
And at that point too, for a
doesn't
coach
make
to
sense.
have whatever criticisms he had, it's like it's already such a at least by us like it's like the issue is much more deeply rooted than the national team. Like it goes beyond that. Like it's from the ground up.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like why are it's like for us to talk about this right now at the World Cup, like going into it is like, well, dude, like there's bigger fish to fry. We're not
yeah,
gonna get like further than we have by the criticisms you have now.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Um. So how did you like? Because I'm watching the sport year round. I'm locked in. Like you're an observer that comes, and then just leaves. You're kind of
Yeah,
just here.
I'm a guest in the house of soccer.
Yeah, yeah. So how did
Seasonal.
you? Because I feel like more than any other World Cup that I can remember, I feel like this one had the most hype. Granted, it was here in our country, so that probably has
Yeah.
a lot to do with it. But I feel like more than any other World Cup, I feel like the most people got into it in a way that they had never gotten into it before. And to me, this was like, okay, yeah, like I'm like, this is a normal thing for me. But I saw it with like Stephanie. She got into it. She was watching. She was texting me, hey, like, when's the next game? Who we're rooting for?
Right.
I'm telling her the story. Hey, this is why we don't like this team. This is why this. When England beat Mexico, and I was like, you know what? If we're gonna lose, I'm glad we lost to Jude. I'm glad Jude did it to us. I would
Yeah.
have hated had it been like
Yo, Jude kind of stole
Argentina.
he stole some hearts this
Yeah,
World Cup.
yeah. And then Stephanie with like the hot take of the World Cup. Jude is not a handsome guy, and I was just like, whoa. Because
Dang.
cause I was like, Jude's very handsome. He's a
Yeah,
handsome
yeah,
guy.
yeah. Good looking young man.
Yeah, and she's like, no, he's not good looking. And I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, he's not. So I think she has like the
Yeah.
the hot take
Yeah.
World Cup, and I almost felt like have you seen the episode in The Office where Jim says that what's her name, Katie is not pretty, the person that's gonna replace Pam for a little bit, and he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, she's not pretty, and Pam was like, come on, and Jim was like, I'm not gonna tell my pregnant girlfriend that her replacement is attractive.
Right, right.
And I almost felt like you could say he's attractive. Like you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I know what
Yeah.
Jude looks like. I know what I look like. It's totally fine.
Right, right. Right. Like, okay, and that's the thing with like
But But she stands on it. She stands on it to her credit.
Yeah, it's weird because like I have like friends, that are girls, or even like my sister, but they'll
Yeah.
talk about like dudes that I'm just like, I think that was a good looking dude. I was like, let me put it this way. If I look like him, like I'd be doing much better. You know what I mean? I'm just like, but it's like, but they're like, oh no, he's not even. And I'm like,
It is
what?
weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't get it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It's so weird because
I
I
feel like
just,
I feel like he was kind of like for a while, because okay, he had so many moments. Like obviously, like he scored the two against us, right? Or the first two,
yeah.
and then him exchanging jerseys with Mora was huge, just for
Right.
like for the culture. It's like, oh dang,
Right.
there's like respect there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the clip of him doing the interview with like the disabled journalists because he
Yeah. The
speaks
Venezuelan
Spanish.
guy.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And then
And he did it in Spanish too.
right. I was like, dang, like, do you mind if a Englishman speaks a little Espanol? I was like, dude, chill, bro. I was like, I was not familiar with your game, bro. Like,
It was like, dude, you got to leave something for
bro, hey,
for
bro,
the single guys, man.
my girl's on this app, bro. Chill. You're like, if you have a girl, you're like, what? Like, bro. And so, and then, against, bro, I think his name is Barco, but when he smacked the little redheaded Argentinian
Oh my
dude,
gosh.
and I mean, I don't watch Jude play. Maybe you can attest to this, but like a lot of people
Yeah.
are saying, like, dude, he's like a respectable young player. It's not like him
Yeah.
to go and like smack someone.
So unlike him.
And so it's like you just know that dude says something really foul if he was willing to walk over and smack him.
Yeah, the fact that Jude did that,
It's like out of character. You're like,
it was
dang,
just like, what is happening? What? Like, yeah, yeah,
yeah. But yeah, with that moment, it was like a lot of like Mexican fans. Like, you know what? Like, Jude's one of us, bro. Like, he knows. He gets it. He gets it. Like, all right, yeah. But yeah.
So
Yeah, with watching
yeah,
it, it was it's always so entertaining seeing the as I mentioned, like the difference in the styles, the mentalities, and even just the storytelling. The storytelling is so great, right? Because you like Cabo Verde, right?
yeah,
The Mexican team, the whole like you felt in there when they're like, oh, dude, like you have to go play Mexico in the Azteca. You're like, oh, dude, like you know,
right,
it's almost like with boxing where like when they like the HBO specials, like this, it's just like, oh, dude, like they do a good job of like building it up.
yeah,
And I think for me, that's what draws me in because the rest of the time with soccer, I feel like with soccer, because there's so many leagues, like, and they play year round, don't they?
yeah. The storytelling is not there.
It's different, right? And then like the time differences,
Yeah.
because like when you guys are talking about like Real Madrid and Barcelona, I'm like, dude, I'm at work. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I'm not even by the phone to check the score, nor do I even
Yeah,
know
or
what's
you're like,
going
I'm not
on.
waking up at 4 a.m. to watch it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, but when it gets wrapped up in this format of the World Cup where it's like, oh, dude, like for example, I think, uh, I think the Spanish team had like a ton of Barcelona players and like not any of Real Madrid Spanish guys,
Right.
right? And so it's like, oh, dang, like what, like how did that come about? What was the decision, And it's almost like where the antithesis of Mexico, where it's like Mexico, that federation will be like, oh, I want America players on the team. Boom, boom, boom. But they don't win. And in Spain, it's like, oh, we can do that. We can make that call where it's like, we want all these guys or all these guys, but they can still compete because they just have that much of a like a roster of like players like all over the country, and they'll be
Yeah.
fine. Like they can do that. They can pull it off.
Right. Yeah.
Like a buddy of mine was like, he pulled the card of like, he's a Messi fan, but he was like, oh, like I'm happy either way with the final because if Argentina wins, like Messi wins too, and if Spain wins, it's all Barcelona guys, and he's a Barcelona guy. So I'm just like, oh, dude, you're just doing it. It's a cop out. Pick a side. Stand on something, dude.
Right. Right.
But I was gonna ask. I was like, oh, like is that all the coach's decision to take just Barcelona guys? Are there guys that play for Real Madrid that are Spanish that are like, dude, I should have been on this team, or like? But I was like, that's interesting. They're pulling that off. I think there were 8 Barcelona guys on this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I
So
love seeing stuff like that where it's like, oh, do this guy? Because I mean, you guys knew it better than me. Like anytime, for example, like when Egypt or Morocco play, like they each have like almost like their national hero on the team that the
yeah,
rest of the guys look to, right? Holland in Norway, like, oh, he's the guy, you know. And then it's crazy because I haven't seen the behind the current thing where it's like where they're playing with their club teams all together, where you have that melting pot of all those talents. And in the World
right.
Cup, it's like those guys are stranded in their country with the guys they have, and they have to get to like the proverbial promised land that is the final and just keep winning, you know, like, you know,
Yeah,
like Portugal, like obviously the whole like when I think Ronaldo was like, yo, like, I mean, everyone's been saying, but like before Ronaldo, Portugal was they were kind of nothing, bro, and it's like he's been the guy leading it.
yeah. When you get into like, because it's interesting you're saying all that because the story of the World Cup is huge because, and it's why you'll get like different allegiances and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And so the Real Madrid Spain one, obviously after the fact, it's hard to argue and say they made a mistake.
right.
But honestly, I don't think they did this time. Like there's I just looked it up just so I wouldn't make a mistake. There's one, two, three, four, five, six. There's seven players on Real Madrid that are Spanish. And I think the only guy I think I could have made an argument for one guy, and even then it would have been a very weak argument for him to be on the team. Is this Real Madrid doesn't have those like players that play that style. And so when you get
Mhm.
to like a national team and the best national teams and the top four, especially that were left in this tournament, they all have a style.
Right.
And every player is called to play that style. And if you can't play the style, it doesn't matter who you are,
So you're not making that
you're
team.
just not going to get in. It's
Yeah.
just the way it goes. So, and and the only way you get in is if you are just like an incredible player where and it kind of changes. So there's no one on the Real Madrid team currently that you could have really made a really good argument and said this guy should have been there. So it's hard.
Mm.
Um, Real Madrid is obviously the biggest club in the world. They play in the Spanish capital, so they feel differently. Obviously, they're going to
Right.
make a different type of argument, but it's hard to dictate because it comes down to style. And if you can't play the style, especially the Spanish style, that's very unique and it's unique to Barcelona, and that's also
Mm.
the thing. The Spanish style since 2000 and like 8 or so has been the Barcelona style. And so even in the 2010 team, there wasn't a lot of Real Madrid players. There was that I can think of the top of my head, Iker Casillas, the goalkeeper, and Sergio Ramos. And I think that might have been it. I'll look it up, but I think because they had 8 Barcelona players on that team. So it was a very different a very different
How,
team.
how old is Sergio Ramos? So I heard the name. I saw it on TikTok and I was like, I'm gonna ask Jim about this. But is he an
He's
older guy now?
yeah, he's like 30, maybe 40 now, maybe.
Yeah. Is he a
Uh,
dog? He got that. You like him? He got that dog in him,
oh, Capitan. That's my
dude.
guy.
Someone was
Yeah,
saying someone the TikTok where it's like, yo, bro,
he's 40.
could you imagine if like Sergio Ramos was like on the Spanish team to just like go out there and like take care of Messi? And I was like, oh, like I was like,
Oh,
and
dude.
in my mind, I was like, oh, this is great. They're pinning them against each other, and I was like, I need to know who this guy is to just
Well,
kind of
there's
know.
like videos of
Yeah. Did he play defense? I'm
Ramos.
assuming. Like, is he a
Yeah,
defender?
yeah.
Yeah.
He was a center back. Yeah. Um. So you had Sergio Ramos. You had Iker. Uh.
Iniesta. I was
Xavi
like,
Alonso,
I was like, who's Iniesta? Another goat?
Barcelona. He plays for
Yeah.
Barcelona. Yeah. Um. Yeah, there was like three dudes, maybe four, but everybody like so. It's one of those things that like the style matters if you're playing at the highest level like that, and
Yeah.
so um, and then you get to teams that like to me like Portugal is going to be very interesting and Argentina is going to be interesting going forward because Argentina built their entire thing over the last two World Cups around Messi. And
Mm.
so that team is built around not even stylistically but just like heart. Like they got nothing but Messi fanboys on that team. And which they're good players, so it's not like they got a bunch of players that are not good, but they just pretty much got players that were all in on getting Messi to his second World Cup.
Right.
And so going forward, what do they do? What style are they going to play?
Right.
You get um Portugal, who's interesting too because the narrative was Ronaldo's holding them back. Ronaldo's holding them back, and it's one of those things that maybe, but we're about to find out. Because if you don't win anything, if this generation doesn't win anything without Cristiano, it just there's
Like,
not enough.
bruh, like really,
Well,
like
there's
that.
not enough hate on the internet for those guys. And so you started to see. I'm sure you saw the videos of like as soon as Ronaldo leaves Portugal, my contract with them ends, and now I become a hater because that's what's going to happen. That's that generation takes on all the pressure because Cristiano took all the pressure from them. And so when you talk about the World Cup and you talk about the teams that could win the World Cup, you always have to start with the teams that have won it because those are the teams that have built the infrastructure in their country's
Right.
federation to win it. Mexico doesn't have that. USA doesn't have that. Portugal doesn't have that. Like they don't have the infrastructure to get to that level. They have infrastructure to make the World Cup, where teams like Guatemala and Honduras and these teams don't have the infrastructure to even make it. So you see that there's
Right.
levels to this, and
Yeah.
so and then from there there is every team has their definition of success. For Mexico is getting to the quarterfinals. That's success. If Mexico the next Mexican team in 2030 makes to the quarterfinals, those guys are legends forever.
Right. Right.
If
Right.
England makes it
If
to the
slash when
quarterfinals,
someone else, but yeah,
yeah.
right.
But if England makes it to the quarterfinals and loses, it's a failure. Because to them, the success is not the quarterfinals. The success to them is
Win the
winning the
World
World
Cup.
Cup.
Right.
And so that's also like a big thing because when you talk about Ronaldo and Portugal, and you've had people like Maradona used to say this, like to ask Ronaldo for a World Cup is unfair because his country's never done it. You ask Messi for a World Cup because we've seen that country do it. And so the fact that Cristiano has raised the expectation of Portugal to the level of a World Cup when they haven't even made a World Cup final just speaks to how down and out they were. Because um, as great as Rafa Marquez was, he didn't raise the expectation for Mexico. We weren't like, oh, you won the Champions League. All right, get us to the semis. Like we weren't thinking that. We're
Yeah.
just like, oh, can you just get it to the fifth game? Like that's all we want. And so that's that's also like a big storyline when you talk about these countries. When like Capo Verde had a successful World Cup, even though they got eliminated in the round of 32.
Right.
it was successful. And you're just like, how? Well, they had never gotten there. And so the World Cup is so interesting because of that. Like those storylines are filled throughout. And so when the team loses, it isn't always the most devastating thing. Sometimes there are very real moral victories in the World Cup,
For sure.
which is unlike any other tournament in even in
Yeah.
soccer. There's no other tournament like that.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because people were saying with Cabo Verde, they were like this tournament. They never lost the game in like regular time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was 0-0 against Spain, and they like 2-2, and it was like and they took Argentina to overtime. It's like yeah, they never, and it's like and that says a lot. And you're like,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, you got to put it into perspective. Yeah.
What other takeaways did you have from this World Cup?
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, I'm glad you brought up the narrative that people were saying, oh well, Ronaldo's holding back
Yeah.
Portugal. It's funny. Victor was saying that. I'm gonna call him out. Sorry, Vic. Victor was like, "Oh well, yeah, well, they're all just key because I think Ronaldo's 41, right?"
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, well, like you got to think about it. Like they're catering to a 41-year-old, blah blah." And prior to this World Cup, because the last World Cup, Ronaldo was what, 37, maybe 38, right? 4 years ago. After the last World Cup, my buddy who's a Messi fan, he was like, going into the 2026 World Cup, he was like, "Oh, dude, you know who Portugal shouldn't bring back, bro? Like they shouldn't bring back Ronaldo, bro. He's washed. Like they got to move on, blah blah." And I'm just like, dang, like Messi's the age right now. This World Cup that like Ronaldo was for the last one, and you were
Yeah.
like, so like that double standard run, just like really. So we're gonna like throw the shade at Ronaldo, but I'm just like, but let's say next World Cup. I don't know if it's Messi's. Has Messi said that this was his last one? I don't think he has said or
No, I don't think he said it.
right, but it's like let's say the next one. It's like, are we going to say the same thing about Messi in 4 years if he does decide to play for Argentina again? It's like,
No.
no, of course, you guys are going to say that because why would you? But it's like, yeah, and like you said with Portugal, like if going forward, because he said he is done. He's like, if they don't win, especially with the guys that you say they have, the like the great midfielders, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, then what are you
Yeah.
guys doing?
This World Cup definitely exposed the double standard that exists. Um, and I think it created this definitely with Cristiano Ronaldo fans. This like, you know what? I'm not even going to debate you. Like, I don't think the World Cup makes adds or takes away from either of them. I think Ronaldo's the GOAT, and you can't convince me otherwise. And vice versa, I can't convince a Messi
Right,
fan of the other side. But you did see how it kind of got flipped because Ronaldo scores two versus Uzbekistan, and people were like, "Oh, well, I mean, it was Uzbekistan.
right. Oh,
Like,
dude, this is why I
who's
loved Twitter throughout this whole tournament because like there were just like receipts on receipts. Because
yeah,
Ronaldo,
like
yeah, Ronaldo does that, and like, well, Messi had the hat trick again, and it's like, okay, it's like, did you forget Ronaldo's hat trick against Spain? Because you said
no, but
Uzbekistan wasn't a worthy opponent, so it's like, oh, you just started watching soccer. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Like like
but
yesterday you
it
started watching soccer.
but it's like okay, so Uzbekistan is not good, but you're gonna hype up Messi's
Algeria,
goals versus Jordan and Algeria. All right,
right?
got it. So
I
those ones are respectable. I understand. And then and then you get to like if Ronaldo would have had the game Messi had versus Spain, no shots, nothing. He would have gotten killed. But instead, it's like, oh, well, just gotta enjoy it. You're like, do you?
yeah. Oh,
Do we? I don't know. He kind of sucked. And I think the stat that like to me was just funny, and I'm just like, dude, there's some like lunatic Ronaldo guy just gonna like live with it. That Ronaldo had the highest, I think, goals attempt versus Spain over everybody in the World Cup. Like he attempted more shots than Mbappe and Messi versus Spain. And I think the Spanish coach came out and said the toughest game was against Portugal. And I'm just like, man, there's some like lunatic who's like gonna ride this,
Just
and I love
feeding
it.
off of this. Like he's gonna write
Yeah,
essays
yeah,
and he's gonna write songs like to be sung like in cantinas and like wherever in Portugal. Like, oh yeah, dude, like this is yeah.
yeah.
Oh
It
man.
just it to me. It also showed the one of the most ridiculous sides of the World Cup is some of the allegiances and just like anybody who's not Mexican hates Mexico, and they all just so happen to root for like Central American countries, and you're just like, Brody, you're Guatemalan.
They don't even like you, bro. Bro, like it's like
Like, what are we doing? Like, you're from Guatemala, Brody. Like, what? What? You think you're like you think like you're singing the Argentina
that
national anthem? Like, what?
that
What?
triggers me so, bro.
Like, what are we doing? You
Bro.
know, or like, bro, like you're Mexican. Like,
That's
what?
yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you do? Like, I went to the Spanish to the Spain World Cup game, and the amount of Mexicans that were like
Waving the
draped,
Spanish flag.
and I'm just like, what are they? What? What are we doing?
Like, did you forget
Like,
September 16th, 18th? Like what? Like really? Like I don't see any American dudes with like the English flag. That'd be a little
yeah,
weird too. It's like that's the same thing. It's like what are we like?
I'm just like, what are we? What is going on? Like, what is?
Yeah.
I just that part is like funny to me, and then I had all those dudes, Vic included, post Argentina all tournament long. They get bounced in the final. Oh, all of a sudden, I'm
Oh,
happy for
happy
Spain.
for
Oh,
Lamine.
you're
I'm happy.
happy for Spain.
Oh,
I hadn't seen a Spain post all tournament
bro.
long.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right, dude.
Interesting. All right.
That's why like the homie
All
like
right.
with the cop out. I'm like, oh, dude. He was like, oh, I'm happy with Egypt and winning the
Yeah.
final. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
bro. But you couldn't post Mexico once throughout the World Cup.
Yeah. It
I.
just
It grinds my
Vic,
gears, bro.
Vic told me I won him a $20. He had posted something and I responded to it. And he's like, I bet someone that you were gonna respond. And I'm like, I'm glad to win you money on your ridiculous takes. And me and him went at it for a little bit, and he was saying it was something like, could Ronaldo, do all this? I'm like, yeah, if he had FIFA behind him, of course he could.
Dude, the amount of restraint it took for me to not just go off the rails and post stuff, specifically after the Egypt game. Like anytime Argentina like won on their way to the finals, I was gonna be like, all right, congrats to Infantino on his victory today, because that's what we're
Dude,
watching. Like that's
bro.
it. Yeah,
So how was that for you? Because I am assuming you can correct me if I'm wrong. This was your first like front and center viewing what the Argentina experience is, right?
yeah. This
Because
like
and the reason why I say this is because like what you see with Argentina is like 2018 forward. Prior to
yeah,
2018, they didn't get this treatment, but 2018 forward, this is like what we've seen.
yeah,
And so seeing that, because I think for those of us that are watching this constantly, it can sound like we are just like grading haters.
like hate. Yeah, like
We're just like jealous, and it sounds like that. And then I feel like the Egypt game and like a lot of the games leading up to the English game, kind of, I was like Shannon Sharp when he's like,
Right, right.
this is what we've been saying.
It's
So
like I'm
seeing
not
that,
crazy. Like, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because I felt super validated, like seeing Twitter
dude.
and seeing and just and me finally being like, this is what we've been living through since 2018.
Bro, right off the bat, it was
Yeah.
the Algeria game, and you sent us the video of Messi stepping on that
Yes.
dude's
Yes.
his calf, and I'm like, it's funny. I always remember that clip, and then we watched. Was it Balogun when Balogun got the red? And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, Balogun's did not seem like intentional. They just seemed like his foot was like wrong
Yes.
place, wrong
Yes.
time.
Yes. Yes.
Like his head wasn't even. And
Right.
I'm like, Messi grabbed the dude by the back and put his foot there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Nothing.
like
It wasn't a
for
yellow. It was nothing.
disclaimer for the listeners, like you've heard it. I don't watch soccer. I don't.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm the casual soccer fan that's like watching the games and like an offsides happens, and I'm like, this is stupid. Worst rule because I'm just like because I don't get it. 'Cause I don't
Right.
watch soccer, but it's like, but with, like
Leading up to this pod, the last pod, I introduced this pod and I said that you are an observer
yeah, I'm
of
just like I'm
of
just
the World Cup game, and so
yeah.
to call you a fan would be too much, and you would agree.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
I'm putting it
I'm
out there
just
because I got asked. Like, wait,
right.
like, dang, you really called him? I'm like, no, like he would agree. Like, I said
Yeah,
it because he
I'm
would agree.
to the listeners,
There you go.
let me put this clearly. I'm a fan and lover of just like Mexico. So it's like whether
Right.
that's like the team or like the country, like whatever.
Yes.
So when the team comes
Yeah.
around, like that's I always tell people because
Yeah.
people think I'm
A
I'm
Mexicans
soccer
competing
fan.
in something. All right, I'll go for the Mexicans.
Yeah, exactly. Like Canelo Papa, you know what I mean? So and it's funny, people think that I'm a big soccer fan, like at work. Like I put some of the games on, and people be like, "Oh, you a big soccer fan?" Like in general, and I'm just like, I'm actually not. I only watch it when the Mexican national team
Yeah.
because of my dad. Like I just ever since I was
Right.
a kid.
Right.
That's the only reason why, bro. And it's funny because my I don't have any actual skin in the game. My homie who's like a big like messy dude, like he's always like trying to start like arguments and like
Right.
this is how like out of the loop I am. I saw him at work and I think Madrid and Barcelona had played recently and Barcelona won.
Yeah.
And he tried to be all sick and be like, "Oh, hey man, like did you watch the game?" Like because he thinks that I watched. And I'm just like what game? And he's just like, "Oh, Barcelona." And he's like, aren't you like a Madrid fan? And I'm like, no. I was like, I don't even watch soccer outside of the years 2010, 2014. Like I never watched soccer. Like I
Yeah.
played in middle school 2 years. I used to go to some Galaxy
Right.
USA games as a kid because they were free
Yeah.
tickets. And I'm like, that's about it. And that's probably I'm like, football's my sport, and I watch boxing and UFC. That's pretty much it. And a little
Yeah.
basketball because Lake Show, right? But it's like
Right.
other than that, it's like I have no problem saying like I'm a casual like Dodgers. I'm a casual fan.
Yes.
I'll rock a
Yeah.
Dodger cap.
I'll check in October.
Yeah, I got no problem with
Yeah.
that. But if we're talking like receipts and like talking smack, I shout out to my boy Uzi. I like to fight.
Right.
I like to fight, whether it's
Yeah.
mainly words. I don't throw hands, but words.
Right.
So watching like the tournament and watching Argentina, I'm just kind of like, dude, like something's off, right? And then and now with like social media, it's like you can like it's all there. Like you'll see clips,
Right.
and it's funny
Right.
because even after like you watch some of like the Switzerland game, and then after the fact, you'll see like the clips, and you're just like, dang, that was a dirty play. They didn't call that like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't a foul,
Right.
right? And then even England, like I think,
But then
I was-
it gets flipped, right? And then
Yeah.
they call something on the Swiss. You're like, wait, you're gonna call that, but not that? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, like okay, because I even on TikTok someone they keep dragging Enzo Fernandez through the mud. I love it. I'm living for it. Screw that guy, bro. they showed the clip of like him getting the red card in the final.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the second half. I didn't even finish the
Right.
game. I had a gig at the fair, and
Yeah.
so I watched like the first half, and then I got dropped off. But when I saw the score, and we were getting the score live from like some of the bartenders there at the venue, they're like, "Oh, blah blah."
Yeah.
It's crazy. Everyone was cheering when Spain was announced the winner. Like even like bro, even like the white people that don't even watch that much soccer, they're like, "Oh, dude, Spain won," and they're like all like ecstatic. It's like Argentina lost, and I'm like, "Yeah, dude," But it's just like, dang, they like everyone sees this,
Right.
and but seeing that Enzo got the red card, and then I saw what he did, right? And someone made a TikTok about it, saying like, "Oh, bro, he didn't even hit that guy that hard." Blah blah. Argentinians defending him, and I had to comment. I was like, "Bro, he was due a red card like 3 games ago. Like, did he not deck Gordon in the back of the head?"
Right.
So I'm like, "What are we talking about here? Like, what really? Like, that's we're gonna ignore that?" So yeah, after Argentina lost, there's some Argentinian folk that like online that were posting about the game, and some guys were like, "Oh, you guys really watched the whole tournament to watch one guy lose?" It's like it's not even about Messi, the one guy. It's like the collective as a whole, bro. Like there were just so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
questionable calls that weren't made that were made against the other teams, and you're just like something's off, bro. So it's yeah. Surprise because I'm watching the game and some of these clips, and I'm like, that's not, bro. Messi grabbed Bellingham like by the waist, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like that's not a even a yellow. And so like a non football fan, I'm just like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like that should be a yellow at least. No, like you're putting hands on another player. I'm like, I don't get it. This is
Right. Right.
I thought soccer like wasn't a contact sport like that. But all like you would think like yo, breaking news, like Argentina's gonna compete like in the Olympics for wrestling now because that's what
Yeah.
they were doing most of the game, like most of the tournament. I'm like, what? So yeah, it was crazy, man. And it's honestly really sad seeing the clips of like the Egyptian players and how they kind of mirror the Netherlands players from 2022.
Oh man.
Like I
Yeah.
think Virgil, is it Virgil? But just that kind of blank expression of like, oh, this is happening in real time, and
Right. Yeah. The face of like, dang,
I can't even say anything about
we're
this.
really getting screwed right now.
Yeah, and it's just like it's weird. It's like it was gross to be honest. Like just seeing, yeah. Someone asked like on social media, a friend of mine, she was like, "Hey, I've never watched the, like on her story. She's like, "Yeah, I've never watched the World Cup. Like, who should I be rooting for? Like, what should I do? Who should I be looking out for?" And I responded, and I was like, "She's like, who should I root for to win the World Cup?" And I
Yeah.
responded, I was like, "Anyone but Argentina." And she was like, "You want to know what's crazy?" She's like, "Several people have just told me this,
Yeah.
like since they posted that story." And she's like, "Can you tell me like what's your point of view?" And I kind of broke down with like what I'm seeing throughout the tournament, blah blah. And
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah," she's like, "I've seen a lot of that on social media. Like, it's pretty weird, pretty crazy." And I was like, "Yeah," I was like, but I was like, "But it's been going on for a couple of years." And then the clips too of maybe you can corroborate, but the whole thing with like Messi quitting the national team because he couldn't win the Copa America years ago and threatening to retire,
Yes.
and then them changing the
Yes.
tournament to being every 2 years instead of every whatever it was before. And the clips of him
Yeah.
like complaining about the corruption and officiating and it's how rigged for Brazil and he couldn't beat Chile and blah blah blah. And like shout out to my boy Eli. I was like, "This is your king? This is your guy?" I was like, "All right." But and then fast forward to clips of now, it's like, "Oh yeah, like we weren't gifted anything," and it's like, dang, bro, like,
Yeah. So I think he retires from the national team 2016,
16 or 19 stick out, one of those
I
two.
think.
16 maybe.
And he couldn't beat he couldn't beat the the golden generation of Chile. 2016, he retires
Yeah.
from temporarily, and he couldn't beat the that generation. And
Were those
so,
the guys that put like 8 on Mexico during one of the games when Mexico
yeah,
beat
yeah,
Chile? It
yeah,
was like
yeah,
8 to
yeah,
zip. We were all
yeah.
depressed.
Seven.
Like
It was seven.
we're all
Yeah,
going to the bridge at that point. We're like, it's over, bro.
at Levi Stadium actually,
Oh,
but seven of us. Shout out to Shani. And so CONMEBOL, which is the region of
their
South
federation,
America,
right? Yeah.
yeah, the federation. Those dudes are like super shady, like super shady. So this is the tournament that's kind of like been moved and switched, and there's no clear like it happens every so often. Like the Euros happen every 2 years. Copa Oro happens every 2 years. Like there's like these like
Right.
all right,
There's a
this
cycle and
happened
there's like a yeah.
right. Um, so like the tournament starts 1916, so they have won 16, 17, so back to back. They don't have one till 1920, and then it's like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So it's all right, well, it's going to be every year. And then they skip a year, 29, and then they skip what like 6 years. So from 1930 to 1935, they don't have any. So 1929 jumps to 1935. 1937, 1939, 1941, 1942, 45, 46, go on and go on. And then it kind of gets restarted 1963, 1967, 1975, 79, 83, 87. And you're kind of getting like, all right, every 4 years. Nope. 87 to 89, that's 2 years. 1991, 2 years. 93, 2 years. 95, 2 years. 97, 2 years. 99, 2 years. So you're like, all right, so it's every 2 years. 2001, 2 years. Nope, 2004. So now it's every 3 years. We're going to have it in 2007. Every 3 years. Now it's going to be every 4 years. 2011. 2011, 2015, every 4 years. You know what? And this is where Messi loses 2015 to that to the Chile team. Um, and that is, I want to say, so this is, I don't know if you've seen this one, but this is where Messi like misses the penalty, just kicks it up. He just flies it, Chicharito style.
Dang.
In Copa America, this side, no, 2015, we're gonna have it again. 2016, Messi loses again. That's the one Mexico loses 7-1 to Chile. So he loses back to back to that golden generation of Chile. After that, he retires. Um, 2019, so they don't have him for 3 years. So 2019, they do it again. And in 2019, Brazil wins it. And that's when he says, like, Brazil, this is rigged for Brazil, and blah, blah, blah. And that's when he, like, cries
The
about
fans are
it.
being robbed of football and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Argentina finished third in that tournament. So from there we have 2015, 2016, 2019, and now it's like, you know what, we'll do it every 2 years now. 2021, and Messi finally wins it. He finally gets his Copa America, his first with the team. They have it 3 years later. Argentina wins again, and then from there they're gonna have it 2028. So now it's every 4 years. So who knows? Who knows? So CONMEBOL has just kind of like bended the knee to Argentina, to Messi, just to get him this World Cup. Oh, this cup, the Copa America. Yeah, Argentina.
Dang.
And so,
All the It's okay. Does it pronounce Balón de Oro or just Balón de Oro? Like, is it fancy? Like, what is
It's either one.
Balón de Oro? Okay.
Yeah,
Again, shout out to Twitter, shout out to X. All the receipts was like, yo, man, this criteria, it's not adding up. Like all these years that Messi won,
yeah,
it could have arguably gone to other guys that did a lot more. And the criteria would change from like, well, this year this guy had goals. Oh, well, this guy won the trophies, and it's like, no, we're just gonna like there was somewhere like can't even name the guys, but it was like, oh, dude, like this season, like Holland did this, and this, and it's like, no, they're gonna give it to Messi,
yeah,
and say, oh, but like in 2010, it didn't matter if he won the World Cup or not. It was just about like club football and just whatnot,
yeah,
and so it's just like, but it's crazy, man.
yeah. But this is the like. There's a saying that goes around that says Messi owns the media, Ronaldo owns the streets,
Yeah,
and so that's the. I think we saw it for the very first time that play out in a World Cup. I don't think we had ever seen that play out like that. And I think this was the World Cup, and that's why I was like so interested to see your like how you saw it. And to you, it was
yeah,
like super gross because I've seen this forever. This isn't new to me. I've seen this going back to the Barcelona days. But I think to see, and even to like see Stephanie react to like, man, these guys get like all the calls,
a
huh?
lot of benefit of the doubt. Yeah, it's just
Like
like,
man, like what is going on? Like, and even like just some of the Infantino like reactions, like Messi, like Argentina was scored,
yeah,
he was happy. They would score against him, he wasn't that happy. His whole like, oh man, we suffered through that
I
one. You're
suffer with Argentina, and you're like,
like,
huh?
did
Like,
you? He's like, oh, as a neutral, even the neutral suffered. Like, how does that make sense? Like, what are you talking about?
yeah. Someone said they were like they're like I'm not gonna say that I wholeheartedly like believe that it was rigged for Argentina. He's like, I wouldn't be as bold to like say just that like
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah,
loud.
yeah.
He's like, but
Right.
if you look at the numbers of like VAR calls that were overturned for other teams versus the ones that weren't overturned for Argentina, he's like, it's like a staggering number. Like it's insane. What
Yeah.
wasn't reversed for them, but that was reversed for other guys.
Right.
Like how does that even how does that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, because it's very much. It's like if the whole like refs chief stuff,
yeah.
but it was like to an egregious amount, you know?
Yeah.
Because like there was a little bit where it was just like, oh my, like dude, the Chiefs again. Like the refs up the Chiefs, and there was sometimes like it looked weird, and then it's like, yeah, but you also didn't do this, so you lost because of this,
Yeah.
and and this was like so different. This was like so egregious all the time. And that's I think what made it so tough to consume and to accept. Because I think that like the English game to me was an easy one because it was all England. England lost that themselves. That wasn't
Right.
Argentina. That wasn't like the ref was like dirty or anything. Like that was Tuchel just being just a coward. And so and that stuff like, like cool. Like you're gonna lose like that. You're gonna win or you're gonna win like that. That's cool. Like that's on the other team. But it
Yeah.
was just like everything that led up to it was just so like awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slimy here, just like, oh, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anything else? Any other like World Cup specific stuff that you're like, wait, this happens?
I just love seeing all the mutual respect between a lot of the fans and the players,
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
hanging out, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Korea and Mexico game. I was like, yo, man, like
Yeah.
they were like, yo, we're gonna have a bunch of like have Korean soccer players like playing for Guadalajara in like 15, 17 years. But it's gonna be great.
Right,
Like it's
right,
just like
right.
or seeing Mora like doing the whole like the Viking row thing at the
Yeah,
Norway game. I'm like, that's
yeah,
cool, man. Or seeing Lamine and Mbappe like kind of exchange like a little like playful like jab
yeah.
as they're on the pitch. It was cool to see, man. Just almost like a lot of people are saying like, oh, like that's like obviously like it's soccer, but it's like one of the purposes of the World Cup is just to kind of unify and let
Yeah.
us see that we have a lot more in common than we have,
Yeah.
differences. So that was really cool, man. And seeing Europeans like get free refills at restaurants, and they're just like, "Oh my god,
That was like some of the best content. Them being like,
dude!"
dude, America's the best. And you're
It's like,
like,
bro, I've had my
yeah, it
my
is.
sixth Coke Zero, and I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah.
you're living like me, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to pay
Yeah.
for it. It's like you don't. They'll bring it to you. Like it's just
Yeah. You guys have ice? Air
or even
conditioner?
honestly, even watching like Argentinian dudes like watch Texans make Texas barbecue
Right.
because they like to barbecue, but they're just like,
Yeah.
whoa, you guys are smoking your meats, and they're just like a bunch of dudes in jerseys like watching the pit masters, like taking notes and
Yeah.
videos of like
Right.
them cooking, and I'm like, yeah, dude, like
Well, I think one of the coolest things was like seeing how like Europeans and like people that were visiting for the World Cup be like, dang, these stadiums are beautiful. You're like, dang, you guys have stadiums like that, huh? And just be
the
like,
stadiums.
Brody, we're like in the fall we are filling up 70,000 like college stadiums on a random Thursday, bro.
Yeah,
Like stadiums were the least of our concerns. Like we got stadiums galore. Like what do you like, dude?
yeah.
Like
That was one thing Vic mentioned with like maybe you can attest to this, but in other countries when they have the World Cup, sometimes they have to build the stadiums or just kind of like prep
oh,
them.
I think that's one of the saddest things of, and this is like in the last administration of the FIFA president, Sepp Blatter. He's the guy that gave Russia the World Cup and Qatar, and he was bribed. Like it's all like out in the open. He was banned from football for a while, um, and so yeah, like part of it is you have to show that you have the infrastructure, and FIFA is very strict about like what it like the dimensions and what it requires for you to host a World Cup game. So it's why
Mhm.
like people were like, how come they didn't go to Vegas? Well, Vegas didn't want to pay for the modifications to make their stadium approved for the World Cup because they said, well, we won't have it. We won't be able to make make the modifications for NFL in time for the season. So we don't want to do that. Um, SoFi was supposed to get the FIFA World Cup final, but they didn't want to make the modifications because of football as well. And so there was this like there is FIFA is very specific about that. And so when it went to like Russia, Qatar, even Brazil, like even you go back to like Brazil, South Africa in 2010,
Right.
uh, these countries that don't have the infrastructure, so they had to make these stadiums that are FIFA standard, and you look back and they're just wastelands now. They're just
Yeah.
taking up space. They're not useful for anything. Um, and it's very sad because it just creates this like hold on that country, on that economy. And for the US, like that was never gonna be a problem. It was never gonna be
Yeah.
an issue about stadiums. Like
Right.
somebody like we could take you like the interesting thing about like the US and stadiums, like you could have the World Cup like two more times, like 30 and 34, and we could take you to different stadiums and not have to repeat the stadiums that you went to this time.
Right. Right.
Like, and I think that's the part that people don't like get. Like,
Grasp. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people like being at the World Cup game, there were Spaniards who were like, "This is una belleza." Like this is the nicest stadium I've ever been to, and it's just and these are people that are going to like soccer
Like La Liga games,
only
like they go,
stadiums. Yeah,
yeah.
so I just think it's a very it's that seeing that like they were impressed by the stadiums, and this was the one thing that we weren't even trying to flex. Like this is
Yeah.
the one thing that we're just like, oh yeah, of course we got
Well, it's almost
stadiums.
like because like obviously there's the whole like I'm sure a lot of foreigners are like, oh, dude, well, like you guys are American, and you guys don't even know or care about soccer. And it's like, well, we
Yeah,
care about sports. It's just not always
right.
soccer, right? It's like, no, like,
Yes,
dude, like,
we could host the
like,
sport.
like,
Yeah,
like Texas high school football, like basketball, like
right,
it's like, oh, dude, like we get
right.
down, like it's just that soccer isn't that high of a priority here, but it's like, no, dude, but as far as like sport entertainment, like just grandeur, like it's
Right.
it exists here for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But Vic was like, yeah, dude, he's like, some countries like they get the stadiums built or like modified, and then like they just don't get used ever
Super
again.
sad.
He's like, and
Yeah,
here it's like we did, like you said, no, in the fall, dude, like football season's gonna start after that. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's the
Yeah,
like. I think that's the case for the U.S. to host more World Cups.
for sure.
Like the infrastructure's here. Just it's just the way it goes. And so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I have
But
any
yeah.
more World Cup notes. That was yeah, good
Okay.
times. Definitely,
Nice.
definitely a fun. Like Jared said, like it was a fun couple of weeks. Like just like experiencing the games with you
It
guys and
was. It's always a fun one. Can't
yeah.
wait for 2030. And we'll
I
see how it
remember, I
goes.
remember, I remember we did a pod a year and a half or maybe 2 years ago, and we were talking about Mexico, and even then I remember you were like, no, 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 bro, like we're not doing anything in 2026, like we're cooked 2026. We already have to look forward to 2030,
Yeah.
and I was like, Jeremy was just still hurt from 2022, like not making out of the group stage, because this time it was fun. This time, like 2018, like it was abysmal. It was like, oh
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah. 2026. The team was definitely the team. I had you told me when we recorded that pod, because I remember that pod, Mexico's going to win all three of the group games, win the round of 32, and make it to the round of 16 without allowing a goal. I would have been like,
like put the pipe down. You're like me, like bro,
like,
stop. Yeah,
what are we doing? Like, are you grifo? Like, what's
yeah,
happening?
yeah. Like oh, you
Yeah,
win a Stockton? Okay, all right.
yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah,
But
dude.
good showing by our boys, and um, definitely, definitely would have. I saw the way the U.S. went out, and I'm like, I'm definitely proud of our guys.
Yeah,
We didn't quit.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, you would do some Odyssey?
dude. Okay,
Close it out with the Odyssey. So, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the Odyssey, you can
yeah, you
log
you've
out
been
now.
warned. We're diving into some.
You can come back later. You should come back later. Listen to the rest of
Yeah,
it. But this is your warning. Spoiler alert.
yes. Spoiler alert. Yes.
Here we go. So I want to start here
Yeah.
because a lot of stuff was said about this film. A lot of stuff was written. I believed some of it because it just seemed like legit. I'd like to start off by apologizing to um, Christopher Nolan for believing some of the nonsense that was written. Um, Now, mind you, I didn't pay that much attention because I went to see the film because it's like, well, it's Christopher Nolan. You kind of have to go. Um,
Right.
but still, the fact that I was like, I don't know, man. Like, did this guy really? And I shut off. I'm like, dude, I feel like everybody who wrote like a lie about the Odyssey should should get banned from social media or something. Like they should just. So I think that's like the first thing. Um, because it was not at all what people said it was going to be. So I wanted to start off by saying that I really enjoyed it.
Good, good. Okay. Yeah, I was done doubting Christopher Nolan after I'd read that when he cast Heath Ledger as the Joker,
Yeah,
that people were like petitioning, but like, dude, like, why is this guy like absolutely not like the Brokeback Mountain guy? Like, no,
yeah.
to get him out of there. So ever since then, I've been like, you know what? Like, I this dude, like, he's delivered. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and watch like whatever he puts out. Like, I'm there. Like, I'll
Yeah,
just
yeah.
automatic take my money. Like, you know,
Right.
okay, beautifully shot, beautifully made movie. I thought it was okay. I thought it was just okay. I
Really?
for me, I
Yeah, you seem very cold on it.
yeah, like
So what is it? What is it that makes you say like, hey, it was I? Are you saying like it was I? Are you there, or is it a little better than I?
for his standards, it
Yeah.
was I. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
If
Like
it was anybody else, it would have
like I
been
was
like,
telling
wow.
Garrick. Yeah, because like we know like what he's capable of, and and
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, like some of the dialogue was a little weird. Like the even in the trailer, like the use of, and I get, guys, I understand that ancient Greeks did not have British accents. I totally know. Yeah, but hearing some of them use like just modern day like I'm going to say like American accents, it was kind of like the whole like Robert Pattinson like saying "daddy." I'm like so that just kind of threw me
Mm,
off. I'm such a nostalgic Troy fanboy, almost on the level of like the Gladiator, where it's like I just want bloodshed, like just like quiero sangre. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It was weird to hear
Yeah,
Tom
just hear
Holland call Stevie's dad. Like, ah, that wouldn't have
like
happened like
dad.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to hear you say father, bro, father. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Yeah.
so. Yeah, that kind of like took me out of it a little bit as far as like being immersed. Because with Nolan, I'm so used to just being enthralled in the era or the universe that he's
Yeah.
in, right? Like Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
right? The
Right.
bomb, the war, right? All this like
Right.
anti like Japanese and German sentiment and all that kind of stuff and that kind of talk. And
Right. Right. And
I'm so
really
used
getting
to
to know the man Oppenheimer.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right. Right.
And
You just yeah. I get you.
I feel like with these Greek epics, it's hard to capture that because I mean, even with Troy, even with a movie like Gladiator, like it's like they're not always the most like historically accurate, and they try their best with like what they have available, even with like the armor and whatnot. So
Yeah.
like I was like there was a scene with Tom Holland and John Bernthal when they're like hunting and they're talking about Odysseus
Right.
and like what they're wearing when they're hunting. I'm like, bro, that looks like clean off like the Coles rack for like Greeks. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
looks like
Right.
you know. So just little things like that where I'm just like, I expect a little more. And I told Garrick, I was like,
I
this
see what
movie,
you're
okay,
saying.
with I'm sure this is happening on social media, especially like TikTok, Facebook, whatever, or YouTube,
Yeah.
with reels or shorts. I'll be scrolling and I'll stumble upon like a reel or a short from like a clip from like The Social Network, for example. Love that movie, right? I
Right.
think you do too. There are like
Love it.
scenes in The Social Network where it's like the dialogue in the scene. It's just like I'll watch it and I'm like, all right, I'll watch the Social Network again. I could watch it one more time. Like
Right,
I
right.
love this part of the movie. You know, like
Yeah.
I love the banter between like Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo, and
Right.
then JT is the douchebag with like
I
and
love the
with
lawyer. I love the
right, yeah,
lawyer.
the lawyers too.
Yeah.
It's like other Nolan movies for me have some of those like moments or feelings, right? Like when I'm watching Matt Damon and Oppenheimer talk about, well, why don't you have a Nobel? Blah blah. It's like hearing that kind of like almost like catty, witty comeback kind of stuff as far as the dialogue. Like that's kind of what I feed off of,
Yeah.
and I didn't get a lot of that in the Odyssey. Like I was telling Garrick, I was like, if they were to show me clips from the Odyssey like on social media, I'd be like, oh, that was a cool movie, but I don't think I'm not like breaking down the door to tell people, yo, bro, you have to go watch the Odyssey.
I see what you're saying. There isn't like an epic
Yeah, definitely more of like the slow burn stuff
speech.
got to me.
Yeah, yeah. Like there isn't like an epic conversation or dialogue
Right.
that takes place. I think the closest thing is when he's talking
Talking.
about um how he didn't want he realized he didn't want to go home. And that was
Yeah.
probably like the most riveting thing. But you're right, because did you see Project Hail Mary?
Yes.
So Project
Love
Hail
that one.
Mary, I think had that. Like
Yes.
where I'll see clips on TikTok and I'm like, all right, I'll watch Project Hail Mary again.
Yeah. Yo, have you seen Project Hail Mary? And it's like, oh, dude, you got to watch that. You got to go.
Yeah, yeah. And that was like the epic stuff, like where you just realize like the movie's made like just like putting you in the situation and you're just kind of like, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
I agree.
so those are some of the things where I was just like, like I want because I wanted to love this movie. I wanted to be like the way if you know me, I love the movie Sinners. Like when Sinners came
Yeah.
out, I
Uh-huh.
was like, bro, I was like preaching that gospel. I was on like rooftops. I'm like, yo, bro, you have to watch this movie. I was telling anybody that would listen, watch this
Yeah.
movie.
Right.
With the Odyssey, I'm like, it was cool,
Yeah.
And now to kind of flip it and be like some of the things that I did like love the world building as far as like how big everything was, like just the gravity of the situation. I love how the
Yeah.
Trojan horse was like stuck in the sand and left behind like that.
Right. Right.
Like that was cool. When the Trojan soldiers stuck their swords in the horse to be like, all
Yeah.
right, we're checking to see that it's not a trap. And the
Yeah.
dude got stabbed and they wiped away his blood from the sword before he pulled the sword out.
Right.
That was great. I was like, oh, dude, I am like
The little
those,
details.
those,
Yeah.
those,
And then they cover his mouth just to make sure that
right? Because he wants to scream, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
And then, when they opened the gates, and okay, visually, I think my favorite character, just the way he looked, I was like, oh my god, that's him. Um, King Agamemnon,
Right.
like the menacing, almost like Bane from Batman, like just like
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
armor that he has. I was like,
He
what?
killed it
'Cause-
when he talked, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah. But like just seeing him, I was just like, oh, I was like,
Yeah, he
like,
looked
oh,
super cool, and then he opened his mouth and you're like, yeah, shut up.
yeah. And then he finally got killed by his lady when he got home, and I'm like, bruh, like you went 10 years for that. I like,
Yeah.
like cool.
Right.
Sacrifice your baby. So, but yeah, like watching like the gate opens and he's just there chilling,
Yeah.
and just I was like, oh, dude, and then I will say, oh, bro, when the Cyclops like screamed in pain,
Oh, that was so
I
sick.
felt that. That
Yeah.
scream echoes like in my soul. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like, yeah. I was almost like, I'm not very sensitive to the whole like, oh, dude, it was too loud the sound. But I like when that happened, I was like, bro, that was too loud. Like that dude screamed
Yeah.
in pain.
Yeah, you're becoming old.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude. I was like, yeah,
Can we lower it down a little bit, please?
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
so and then I did like, I thought the old dude was cool with the dog.
Yeah.
He was cool. How he's like still like a little servant to the dad, and
right.
tells the dad and helps him train and whatnot. It's like, oh, like this is the dog that your dad chose, and this hunting dog.
Yeah. I thought the mentor was cool. I liked him.
Yeah, Gary Bertier. That was
Gary
Gary Bertier.
Bertier.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, shout
I
out
was sitting next to Stephanie. I'm like, Yeah, Reaper Tears the mentor.
Yeah, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, left side, strong side. There we go. You
that's
know.
yeah,
And so yeah, and then I thought the whole thing with the bow when he rings the bow, it's
right.
like a cord. That was sick. I
Yeah,
was like, all right, that's cool. You know.
right.
And as far as the action, like for this moment, I like laughed out loud. I was like, ha! But when he finally revealed himself as Odysseus because he strung the bow and shot it, and the blind guy
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you're Odysseus," and he got like killed on the spot.
Oh yeah,
I was like, that was nice.
he
I was
just
like,
puts it in
cool.
his neck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
yeah,
dude. And then okay, the scene with the Cersei, the witch,
yeah, yeah.
eating
So weird, huh?
like gomito. I was like, oh, bro, what are they eating and why are they eating it that way? I was like, I mean, I like to eat. I get hungry, but I was like, I'm not eating my soup like that, bro. What are you guys doing? Why are you guys eating like that? Stop it. And then
Yeah,
she starts rubbing their faces and they're like changing into animals, and I was like,
yeah. She's
yo,
forming them. Yeah,
yeah, that was a trip. That was yeah,
yeah. He definitely stayed. He didn't go a lot into the mythological stuff. Like obviously there was stuff in there,
right,
but he did because some of the other like the older Odyssey movies definitely like it's a way more like more into it than that. I wish he would have done like a closer rendition to the book when it came to the Cyclops.
yeah. Doesn't he speak to the Cyclops?
Yeah, so the way it
Like,
goes in the book is he's in there, they find the meat, they find the cheese. The Cyclops goes in there, finds them, sees them,
right,
and Odysseus like is talking to him and he's trying to bargain because they show up, they get off the boat, they see the sheep, and they get off with a bunch of wine. So they say, okay, we're gonna exchange our wine for like food.
right. We're gonna barter. Yeah,
Yeah. And so there he Odysseus is pleading for like, hey, like let's make a deal, and the Cyclops isn't going for it, and then he's begging for mercy. And in the book, the Cyclops says, the mercy I'll show you is that I'll eat you last. And he eats two of his men. And so from there, Odysseus and him start talking. They start giving him wine. They get him drunk pretty much. They get him drunk, and then the next morning he opens the door. Everybody exits, and Odysseus to like I don't know for revenge sticks pokes his eye. But before that, the Cyclops will ask Odysseus, "What is your name?" And he says,
yeah.
"Nobody."
Nobody. Yeah, that's
And
what I was
so
waiting
when
for.
so when he's yelling in the book, like the other giants come ask what's happening, and he said, "Nobody's hurting
Nobody.
me." And at the end, like he escapes and he tells him, Odysseus did this to you. And that's when like he tells Poseidon and everything else. That would have been really cool to see. That would
Yeah,
have been because I think it would have given us the understanding of like what happened to Odysseus, why it is that he wasn't able to make it home. Because that's the one, because I think the whole time, like if you didn't read the book, you're kind of just like, what's going on? Like, what?
right,
Like,
right.
and it just, yeah.
And you definitely see that like he's perfectly capable of making home. Like he's a super smart guy. Like throughout the
Right.
war, throughout his
Right.
whole campaign, getting home, it's
Right.
like oh no, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Um, like and even like when they got off to before they met Cersei, they were gonna like mutiny. They were gonna like yeah, dude, you got to stay here. We don't want you to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's just like, dude, let me do my thing, like y'all. And then he was the one that was like, sun's off. This soup is weird. All these pigs are outside, and my guys aren't here. He's just like, because here's the whole thing with like the pigs, like, oh, your men are pigs, like that's who they really are at their
Yeah.
core,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, and he's not. He's like, he has like discipline, self control, like has like his wits about him. You're just like,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
it was
I had a good time, but I was just like for Nolan, like I would say like this is like I give it a 7, like a 7 out
for
of 10
Nolan or in general.
for Nolan for like his the films he
So
has.
is it lower then? Is like the real one lower?
Yeah, like I wouldn't
So
put this one ahead of like any of the Dark Knight movies, Interstellar,
Tenet,
Oppenheimer. I haven't seen Tenet, and Tenet's one that I've heard is kind of like wonky.
Tenet sucks.
Yeah, this one might be.
Dunkirk.
I'll watch Tenet and be like, this one's like for sure above Tenet, but it's not as good as the ones that I named for
What
me.
about Dunkirk? Have you seen Dunkirk?
I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. It's like the war one, right? Not the
Yeah,
yeah. Is that World War One?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta watch Dunkirk. Have you seen
Uh,
Memento? It's like an older one of his. Garrick mentioned that because Garrick's not a movie guy, but he's like, I've seen Memento by Christopher Nolan.
Memento's good. Yeah. Have you
Okay,
seen The
so
Prestige?
no, that's the one when
Oh, dude,
is that Bale and
dude, Hugh Jackman.
yeah,
Okay, you need to watch The Prestige, and we can do a pod on that one.
okay,
That one is good.
yeah,
That one, Stephanie showed me that one, and I'm just like, whoa, this is Christopher Nolan too. Like, all
yeah,
right, that one is really good. You need to watch The Prestige. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I had a good time with it. I gave it a 9.4 because I thought it was like, but again, I was going in there thinking I was going to hate it.
yeah,
And I just enjoyed it. Was an enjoyable, like almost 3 hours.
right.
Enjoyed my time. It was a good experience. Um, it was, like he wasn't like,
He knows how to tell a story and he knows how to build a
yeah,
universe and like
but
the realization that like they're the people from the sea, they're the ones.
oh yeah, that was
He's like,
sick.
oh no, you guys are turds, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when they like that first guy that I don't know what language they're speaking, but like the first old guy that they're talking to, and like their
Hmm.
houses are on fire, and
Yeah.
it's like, bro, you guys are the ones. Like you guys are the fabled. Like your
It's like,
father
oh,
Kelvin
we,
and
we
pillaged
thought
you.
you were the people of the sea. No, we're not the people of the sea. And it's just
It's
like,
like like pot me kettle. You're like, okay, like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was cool.
yeah.
And then him realizing too that Athena was taking the form of like the girl that he saw killed in Troy, and him just kind of realizing,
Zendaya was awesome.
yeah, yeah. I was like,
Zendaya
yeah,
was really good.
that's that was a nice touch. Like just also like him just kind of realizing like, yo, like this is war. Like I wanted the Greeks to win, but as they're sacking the city, he's like, dang, I'm like kind of
This
solely
isn't right.
responsible for this. This isn't right. And I helped. I
Yeah,
was like the almost like the main figure that pushed her forward.
right.
You know. So
The I think what made this movie not so great was Tom Holland.
yeah, he was okay.
I didn't buy him at all.
Yeah.
Like I just thought his character sucked. And then when they're all fighting and he's like in the
Yeah.
he runs into the room of where the weapons are at, and I'm
With
just
the
like,
one dude. Yeah.
bro, like, can you do something? Can you like do something else besides throw
Make
clay
yourself useful,
pots?
bro. Yeah. Like,
Like, what are you doing? Like, I just, yeah, I couldn't stand his character, but
did you like Robert Pattinson as like the
I did. I thought
yeah,
he played like
he
a
was such a
super.
jerk.
Yeah,
I
he was
was
so
like,
good at playing that. Um,
yeah,
thought he was really good, and Hathaway was like awesome as well.
yeah. Dude,
Um,
the little like figure thing that he brought back.
yeah, he
And he's
wore it
like,
every day.
you know what this is, bro. And he's
Yeah,
like, oh, I don't know what it is. Like, yeah, you little turd. You know exactly what it is.
yeah.
You know who you love taking out to
Oh
dry?
yes, yes, yes. Where'd you get
Dude.
that? Then when he puts it in his mouth and kills him, he just
I
like
don't know what it is. Where'd you get it though? It's like, you want to know where I
yeah,
got it, but you don't know what it is. Interesting.
right.
Okay. Subtle.
Yeah, when he puts it in his mouth and he's like, "Tell Simon that what is it like? I repaid your shame or something like that." I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
overall, John Bernthal I thought was really good,
yeah.
but the piece that he played. But yeah,
It's funny. It's like someone mentioned. I saw a couple peeps that were saying that they wanted to see some other characters or just get a little more screen time. One of them was like Lupita Nyong'o, like as Helen of Troy, and like the
yeah,
like I said, the Troy fanboy in me was like because for the people that are saying that they want to see more Helen of Troy, a part of me
it
was
wasn't
like,
that story.
yeah, exactly. I was like, a part of me,
Yeah,
like the kid in me wanted to see like Achilles in a flashback.
right,
Right,
right.
such a cool character, right? You know,
Yeah,
warrior, best warrior.
yeah,
But after the fact, I was like, this isn't Troy. This isn't the Iliad. I was like, this is like a difference. This is after the fact.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
the fact that we even got some Helen of Troy is like that they threw us a bone. They mentioned
yeah.
Achilles, and I'm just like, yeah, like that story has already been told. We've
And
seen it.
also I thought it was brilliant how he showed like the scar that she had,
Yeah,
and then it was just almost like a throwaway, you know, like
yeah,
this is what's left of Helen of Troy.
right.
And yeah, John Bernthal's character is like maybe now 500 ships could get sent out for her.
Yeah, 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 man. And just realizing too, like, 'cause I think the Troy movie touched on it, but it's like, oh, like it was actually about greed. Like, sure, Menelaus went for Helen,
Yeah,
but when you brought it, all the Greeks, it was like, oh, they want to pillage, they want to go and expand the empire or whatever it is,
right.
and it's like that was just a scapegoat to be like, oh yeah, dude, we're gonna go get the princess back or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
that
It's
was
like,
the excuse that they
it's like,
needed.
nah,
Yeah.
you guys just you want more land,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's why like when it, like with Odysseus, like seeing Troy get sacked, he's just like, dang, bro. And also, I was reading about it, but it was like Odysseus. A lot of them didn't want to go to begin with, but it's like Agamemnon was the guy that was like leading the charge,
Right.
and it's like, oh, we kind of have to because he's the guy at that
Yeah.
moment in time.
Right. Because he does say like he tells Penelope's character, like he tells Penelope, like if we don't go, he's gonna take our son.
Yeah,
And it's just like, dang.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's like even like in the Troy movie, it's like, dude, like Agamemnon's whole spiel is like, all right, I'll let you live, but when I call for you guys to come and fight for me, you have to come and fight for me.
Right.
Like, almost like he's like the king of kings in Greece.
Yeah.
Like they'll still be like kings of their kingdoms, but it's like no. But when I call you, it's like in Game of Thrones. It's like, oh, like you're my bannerman. You have to come when I call for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, yo, did you think the CGI on the kid giant soldier was kind of funny? Like, remember the giant soldiers in armor that they found on the
Yes.
island?
Yes. 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 Yes.
They
Yes.
found that first kid because
Yeah.
they thought it was a grown man, but then
Right.
it turns around and like it's a child.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, its head is kind of just floating within its suit. I was like, I thought it looked funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I know, and I see where you could have spent all the bucks. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, I see you. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I was like,
And that was like super like crazy how they just like came
yeah,
out and then like
right,
the
right,
woods just kind of like shape shifted and they were kind of just
yeah.
stuck.
I want to see more of the sirens too, like just them getting lured in. Like, bro, don't do it. Like, don't,
Right.
because even the Asian dude that jumped off the boat, I was like, bro, you put wax in your ears. How did you not? You
He
heard
took
them?
him out. He took it off.
He took it out, right? But it's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, what's interesting is like I think in the book, the way they die is if someone's able to listen to the sirens and not die, then they die. And so Odysseus kills them in a sense by doing that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok when they were like, so there's that part when Odysseus is like, yo, if you guys eat these specific cows, like you guys are gonna die, just flat
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't think about doing it. Don't dream about it. Don't even talk about it. Like, just leave them alone.
Yeah.
You can eat everything else. Talk about some like fruit of the tree of knowledge.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't
Adam and Eve
just
stuff.
whatever else you want. All the fruit, but just leave the cows alone, please,
Yeah.
bro. please, bro.
Right.
And then he catches them eating it, and he's just so tired. He's like, you know what? I don't even care at this point. I told you guys, and you got to listen. I'm out of here.
Right.
I'll catch you guys not later. Like, just bye.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's relatable, bro. Yeah, I felt that. I was like, yeah, you guys have one job, one job.
And they think if they're quiet enough, like he will like find them.
Right. Like, yeah,
They just dig like a hole and they're just kind of like barbecuing there. They're just kind of like,
like, oh,
what's
dude.
up?
Probably with my hand in the VDA pit. You're like, ah.
Yeah.
You're like, ah. Yeah. He just walked away. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the boat. Maybe Poseidon won't be pissed at me anymore. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I am a little surprised you're not as high in it as I thought you were gonna be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully,
Cool,
I'll
man.
ruffle like enough feathers and like someone will want to come on and like debate about it and be like, all right, bro, let's start a whole like Nolan verse of
I don't know if
debate.
this is the movie that gets people going like that. I think had you come out hot against like Interstellar, but then if
Yeah,
you came out hot against Interstellar, you just like you're the
you're
problem. Like you don't like
insane. Yeah,
Interstellar.
you're insane. You're insane. Yeah.
Like
See, that's
you're
one
the
where like I had Uzi and some other homies like watch it. Like I had like a little like we got food
yeah.
and they were talking throughout the whole movie and I was so pissed. I was like, dude, you guys suck. This is an amazing movie. And they
Yeah.
and like Uzi specifically took it to heart. He went home like later. He watched it on his own eventually, and he's like, bro, he's like, you weren't kidding. Like he's like, you were right. Like and I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, it's not the kind of movie where you can sit and like don't even attempt to doom scroll. You know, some people like
No, no.
want to be on their phone
Yeah.
during a movie.
Right.
It's like
Right.
this is not the movie to do that, bro. And so
No.
once he understood
No.
that and he watched it, he's like, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like the scene of him watching his kids' videos. And like I was like, yeah, I can't even. He's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
accept your apology.
Yeah. That movie's
That's
that
one where
movie's
I'm like,
different.
I'll tell you. I'm like, yo, if you haven't seen it, like, don't even talk to me yet, bro. Go home and just plant yourself. Just go,
Right. Right.
you know.
Yeah. So it's hard. It's hard to like. That movie is different. I think. Maybe
Yeah,
if someone said like Project 300, like Project Hail Mary sucks. Maybe that's like
yeah,
whoa, that's controversial. You didn't like Project Hail Mary? Like
right.
whoa, yeah. But this one, yeah, I
Yeah,
think if someone says like your take isn't like a weird take, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I feel like
I
because
think
okay,
it's safe.
like say like you for example, you're going into it like not expecting the best or whatever. You're like something
Right, right,
great.
right.
If you had come out of it and be like, "Oh, bro, I was right. Movie sucked," I'd be like, "Well, bro, you went in there like not wanting to like it."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
that'd be
see
like,
what
bro,
you're saying.
that'd be like, bro, you're just being a hater. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
me
yeah.
having gone in like being a fan of Nolan, like wanting to like it, I feel like it holds a little more weight. Where it's, you know what, like for me, it just
For sure, for
it wasn't
sure.
what I thought it was gonna be. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's different. Like with the yeah, going into like kind of just predisposed, I guess, to like a notion of what it was gonna be like.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah,
yeah. I definitely think Oppenheimer was better. I enjoyed Oppenheimer more. Um,
mm,
but I think it's kind of like what you're saying. I think it's hard to create an amazing movie out of a timepiece like that
right,
because especially with like modern day sensibilities
yeah,
because I think that's what makes like when they make like Django Unchained for example it's a great movie but a lot of it is because the characters are willing to partake of the sensibilities of a different time
right,
and so I think that is what makes it like Leo as a slave owner acting like a slave owner and saying all the awful things he says
right,
and and that is like a very tough movie to see sometimes like at least those scenes are you like oh
right,
when the
right,
dog are ripping apart that man
right.
and you're just like wow
And
but
you
it's like
And as a
That's
director, you have to, and director and actor, you have to go all in to make those
yes,
things like
right,
believable.
right.
It's crazy. And I'm thinking of movies like two movies coming out in particular, but like Passion of the Christ and Apocalypto, where it's like those are
Yeah,
specific timepieces.
yeah,
And Mel Gibson made the decision. He's like, oh, they're gonna be speaking like their
right.
native tongues. Like I'm gonna go
Yeah,
all in to make it a timepiece. Sure, not all of it is accurate, but it's like you're gonna be immersed in that. And I feel like with his movies,
yeah,
like it's weird. Like it's hard to do. You know?
yeah. And it's hard to do because people were like, life was cheap during that time. And I think it's really hard to showcase that, to
Yeah.
showcase how cheap they viewed life and how
Right.
savage they were and how
Right.
that I don't know if that would fit to our sensibilities today. If he was just showing just how barbaric everything was.
Right.
And I think that would make it really tough. That would be a tough sell.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that timepiece makes it tough because it almost would have to be rated like NR,
Oh,
maybe.
for sure. Yeah. There's so much. Yeah. Yeah. So much of it that's like with Troy. Like it's like what we saw in Apocalypto, like those.
Yeah, yeah,
It's inhumane. You
right,
know, right?
right,
Like you're watching them sacrifice dudes on top of the pyramid. They're ripping their hearts
right,
out, right? Seeing Jesus Christ getting like ripped to a pulp
right,
because that's what the
right.
Roman Empire would do to people, right? And then
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then to see Christopher Nolan, where it's like they sacked Troy, it's atrocious, but let's like we didn't see what actually would happen to like temple maids and priests that are just caught in
R-
the crosshairs. Like
yes,
it's different.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's the part that's like, and also the like to make the uncomfortable stuff of like even like the stuff because there was like a good chunk of the movie where Matt, Odysseus is with when he's in Charlize Theron's character.
Yeah, she's a nymph, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Calypso.
Yeah, Calypso. And so that whole thing where she's drugging him and in a sense like having his way with him, raping him
Right,
in a
right,
sense. And well, not even a sense, like legit doing it.
right.
Um, and it's just kind of like insinuated, but there's not much like it isn't like this thing that's pushed. It isn't really like you're not forced to like have that uncomfortable like yeah, this is what happened,
Realization. Yeah,
and this is how people behaved back then, and this is how
yeah.
people lived, and this So I just think it's
Right.
that's what that I think it would be really hard to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But overall, enjoyable. You should go watch it.
I had a
And
good time. Go watch the Odyssey.
yeah,
Let me know what you think. Yeah.
yeah, go watch it and
Definitely glad that
let
I
us know.
watched it. Like that's one where it's like before it came out, I was like, I'm watching that opening day. Or at the very
Right,
least, like typically
opening
for
weekend.
yeah, like opening weekend. Like if it's like I really want
Yeah,
to see, I'm watching it Thursday night. And this one I
yeah,
watched like Friday afternoon. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch this, dude. I have to go watch it.
mm, yeah,
You know? Yeah.
yeah. Nice, cool. We'll see what he brings us next.
Right? With him, it's always a thing where it's like the project gets announced and it's
Yeah,
like always doing a movie on that.
yeah.
I'll write the check. Just give me the date and I'll leave it in your mailbox, Chris. I got you, bro. Like just yeah.
Can I
Because I remember
reserve
when
my
they
seats
announced
today?
Interstellar, I was like, oh, it's about space travel and kind of like time travel. I was like, sign me up. I'll watch it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That movie. I want it to come out in theaters again so I can go watch it. Like when they do like the anniversary ones, and I just
Yeah.
think
Oh,
like
for sure. Yeah.
that would be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, they did that a while ago in IMAX for Interstellar, and I was like,
Yeah.
ah, yeah. Jacob's super into that. Jacob is someone like he's the one that like put me on Interstellar
Mm.
because when it came out, I was like, I don't know if it's for me. And then he's like, no, dude, it's a great movie. And so he's always like sharing the soundtracks for, especially for like Christopher Nolan movies with like Hans Zimmer, like just
Yeah.
showing off.
He likes the scores. Yeah.
He loves the scores in the movies, and he's just like, yo, dude, like he's the man, you know.
Right. Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Well, this was definitely a pleasure. It was good to talk to you again and get your
for sure, dude.
thoughts
Yeah,
on the World
yeah,
Cup
dude.
and everything else.
I feel like we got spicy with the World Cup. I hope someone like, I feel like people are gonna be like, yeah, dude, you guys are right, and just be like, yep, yep. Like,
Vic is gonna be somewhere and just
yeah, or
like,
be like,
oh, so
nah,
you guys trashed Argentina? Shocker.
right, nah, they're being haters. Like, oh, you know
Yeah.
what? Like, yeah, catch me outside, bro. Come on,
Yeah. Shout out to all the Guatemalans who are
bro. Did you see that one clip
half
of the dude they
Argentinian.
asked? He's like, oh, ¿de cuál parte de Argentina eres? And he's like, soy de Guatemala. Like,
Yeah.
bro,
Like, I think
Ramirez, please, come on. Like, you know,
what's sad is like, dude, these guys like, it's not even that they like don't like you, like they like despise you. They think you're dirt to them. I think that's the part that's like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah,
yeah, anyway,
yeah.
it is what it is. All right, I'll
I
talk to
had
you
to
later.
I had to break
Yeah.
that down for for Garrick because he was like, hey, the World Cup, you know, blah blah
Oh,
blah,
right.
and he's not at all like to hit to the
Yeah,
soccer, and he's like a new like USA fan because oh yeah, it's the
right,
US, you know,
right.
and it was I think it was before Argentina made the finals, but he's like, yo, like who you rooting for, blah blah, and I was like, anyone but Argentina, bro, and he could see the look on my face, and he's like, whoa, there's some like
Right.
just some hatred in there, like
Yeah.
you've been hurt. I'm like, definitely been hurt. Yeah, like screw those guys, bro. I'm like Dave Chappelle, like, oh, like, why don't you like those guys anymore? I'm like, because F them, that's why, bro.
Right,
You know,
right,
it's just
right,
like, yeah,
right,
dude.
right.
So, and he's like, no way. So I was kind of telling him some of the history, and he's like, interesting. You know, so,
Yeah.
but he was almost like like his hand was on his chest when I was going off, and he was like, bro, are you okay? Like, I'm like I'm not okay. Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have a skin in the game, you probably think like, "Oh, Argentina, they're Hispanic."
Right, yeah. It's
And
like,
you're just like, they don't say they're Hispanic.
it's like, what if I told you they're the one group that's like, hey, bro, like, okay, you know how like Eli's always like, yo, like colonizers and stuff like that, and it's like those guys are like the number one like pretender colonizers, bro.
Right, right.
I'm like, bro, like move on, bro, get over it, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah.
yeah. All right, sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.